preparing for the worst.
Exactly. Is the theme here entirely. Oh, I think we've got something. I think we're okay.
2 minutes and counting.
4 waiting now. No.
Switch as well. Oh, we're live apparently.
We are indeed.
Just got a notification.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all well.
I am.
Good. I actually got some painting done today. I was like, whoa, no way.
Oh, on purpose or?
Yeah. I was touching up my sisters a little bit more. So they're nearly done now.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Confessions. Grognard style. Yeah. Do you remember when Eldrad died and then he didn't die?
What?
It was one of the campaigns. I can't remember which one it was. I think it's the one where where Chaos won, and then they went, "No, Chaos didn't win. Honestly, didn't."
Eldrad.
Yeah, Eldrad. He died. He turned to wraith dust or crystal or something.
Crystal, yeah, they crystallize, don't they?
Yeah.
The Hall of the Crystal Seers.
Exactly. And then they retconned it and went, "No, he's still alive because we have a £25 plastic model we need to sell."
He's a dick anyway.
So
I think it might have been on 4chan TG or somewhere like that. No, 1D 4chan, where some genius had written some stories about Eldrad and he was just a dick to everyone because he could see the future.
Oh right, yeah. Okay.
And there was one where I think he like brings this banshee along, and she's like a complete noob. And he sees the future, and he manages to travel to like this conflict where like these orcs are kicking off against, I'm not sure who it's against, but there's loads of orc knobs on bikes, and they just step out of a portal like right in their path, and he's like, "This will do." And all these bikes are going past, and they're narrowly avoiding like getting power clawed and like shooted and stuff. And this little poor banshee's like, "What the fuck are we doing here? Like this is some bullshit, man. I want to go back. Take me back. And he's like, "Not yet. And I think he just goes, this will do. And he literally kicks like this little stone about a foot. And then it kind of goes underneath a bike, and the orc on the bike hits the trigger on something, and he rockets something, and something else blows up. And then something else blows up, and then something else blows up. And there's like this big chain reaction. And then I think there's just like someone's hat ends up flying through the air, and it just goes like, bump onto this banshee's head, and she's like, "What the actual? You brought me all the way here for this fucking hat to land on my head?" And he's like, "We can go now." This I don't think I do it justice, and it's probably not quite right, but it's definitely worth having a gander at on what.
Yes.
1D4chan still up. I think there was about 4 different stories, but that was the one that I remember.
That sounds like one of those second edition chain reactions that I was talking about. You know, everything goes.
Yeah. Yep.
Predators flipping over and exploding and all sorts of stuff. Yes. What are you hoping for the preview, dude?
Oh, fuck knows. Hopefully more stuff to do with Heresy and Legions Imperialis, and both of those little names were there on the preview, so I'm kind of like, yes.
They've, I think honestly, I kind of think that they won't address it in the stream at all, but I also think they won't.
Oh no, definitely not.
Field any questions about it either. I think they'll be like,
no, not at all. They'll just carry on like nothing's happened, because that's the corporate way of doing things.
Indeed, yeah, exactly.
They're very like stiff upper lip company, like old school British. They're just like, just carry on like nothing's happened. It's just fine. It's kind of like, well, things are mostly fine now. We're not too sure to what extent you had to scramble to fix them after everyone was like, what the actual fuck have you done with our units?
Yes, exactly.
But, you know, it's like I said to Carl earlier, I'm like, I don't really care how much work they had to put in at the last minute to add stuff back in. The fact is they've done it.
Yes.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, the product is the end result, and the gamers, they just massively underestimated what kind of gamers the Horus Heresy gamers are. They thought they could get away with their usual 40k bullshit.
Yeah, I think Spec Games were probably like, SpaghettiOs, and GW Corporate, who sat above them, who gave them the directives to do stuff, probably under duress, were kind of like, don't worry, it will be fine. And Spec Games were like, I ain't being funny, we are these players that you're fucking over here, we're not happy about it. this is not going to work. And they're like, silence, workers, just do the work that we tell you. And then it all goes to shit. And then they're kind of like, workers, make this work. And they're like, fuck's sake.
Down on this preview just a little bit while we're getting this music and stuff. Guys, let us know if the sound's okay. If you can hear Matt and, more importantly me. So
it's mostly his channel. I just come along and improve it so often.
Lies.
Arguably.
I've got a beer here, which I'm like, might be drunk depending on how bad or good stuff actually is.
I've got no beer in the house. I've got mead in the fridge, but I'm not sure that's a good idea, given me I'm travelling to go on a cruise tomorrow. I've got like a 2.5 hour drive.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I do need to tell everybody that unfortunately Monday we will not be doing the second edition Eldar Codex because Matt is swanning off to bloody Norway. So it'll be the week after, honest. Christ.
Yeah. So what's the deal?
To be fair, mate, Norway sounds quite nice, especially with the heat.
Yeah, that's why I chose it. She was like, Greece again, and I was like, no. Definitely not.
No, not.
But I checked the weather as much as I could, and apparently Oslo is like low 20s and rain.
Perfect. So, that's good.
I mean, we're not going to Oslo. We're going to the fjords, but I'm not too sure what the variance in weather's like. But I've got waterproof. I'll be alright.
I mean, Norway is the one to the left up the top, and then Finland's the one over to the right that borders. Which one borders Russia?
Finland. That's why they have trouble with Russia.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, you're Norway, you're on the other one over the other side, and Sweden's like the big chunky one down in the middle.
Yeah.
I know geography, honest.
I think, without looking, I think Denmark's the closest one to us.
Yeah. Chris, unfortunately, Titanic is probably the best game they ever made, and they killed it. So I don't think it's... You might get something for Legions Imperialis, but...
How many people are chatting here? This is bonkers.
You are watching our stream and not the official GW one, right?
Yeah. I like to think I've got this.
Hope you're all well. Sort of looking forward to the preview with, I don't know, the grim realisation it'll probably be disappointing. It's really weird, isn't it? Like the ones you get all hyped up for are always the ones that are like, oh god, that sucks. And then the ones you don't expect anything from, you're like, oh wow, that's amazing.
No.
So I remember like they did the Warhammer Day one, and I was like, that's crap. And then they just did one random one for a like an American tournament or something like that, an open, and it was fucking amazing. I think it was the Nova one. I was like, that's brilliant. So I'm just hoping we see some nice models, and maybe a new Raven Guard that hasn't got an emo My Chemical Romance haircut. That'd be nice.
I mean, to be fair, like years of listening to Typo Negative has kind of drummed into the fact that if I expect disappointment and then I'm not disappointed, I'll be unexpectedly pleased, which is always nice, rather than the other way around. When I expect it to be good and then it's poop and it's like, oh god, it was crap.
I mean, it's like I generally kind of go into any movies, because I do like a movie review channel as well, by the way, guys. Critical reviews, in case you want to check it out. I go in with a low expectation, because that way you can't be technically disappointed, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I sort of learned that lesson the hard way.
In it.
Yeah, apparently we don't sound the same as Adam and Eddie, which, it's because we're not.
Remember to try not to talk over him too much.
Yeah, and there'll be a little bit of a delay as well, so I'll try not to spoil things as well, because I think I did that in the last one. I was like, oh, that's amazing, oh my god, they're so good. People are like, what? I was like, nothing.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, more Palanite stuff. I think they're taking it a bit far, to be honest, with Necromunda. I'd rather see some more variations of different stuff as opposed to them. I'm like, Psychopalanites? Really? Not sure we need those. But the guys in the Del Boy coat look pretty cool. Pedro Cantor, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to see the not so frequently featured chapters get some stuff, in my opinion. By the way, you can't see the chat from the main thing because I'm sparing you from that, basically. Yeah, I mean, the rumours is there's going to be a Sharrokin, the Raven Guard bloke? Maybe a new Lysander.
Not sure. Wasn't that an old Paradise Lost song?
I think you're thinking of Shadow something.
Shadow Kings?
Shadow Kings, that's it, yep.
Isn't that what you said?
No, Sharrokin. I think that's his name.
It's not my fault you talk funny.
Raven Guard type dude. As I say, I just hope he hasn't got an emo haircut.
Oh God, no! Please, it's not like
That was horrible.
Poor old Trike.
Crimson Fist being 11th edition poster boys, a man can dream. Yeah, I mean, apparently they're versus orcs, so I mean, recreating that kind of thing for a nostalgia point of view. But I mean, it depends on whether it's Primaris or not. But if they go back to some of the rumours going around are that they are going to kind of bring back the tactical squad in all but name kind of thing, it could work. I'll have to wait and see. Space Marines just got way too stupid. There's like 20 different units. I'm just like, no. Just, you know, and I can't tell the difference between half of them either. It's like the one that was the dual build for the Phobos that came out. It was like Interceptors and Incursors, I think it was. Couldn't tell you the difference. Inceptors. No, Inceptors are the guys.
No, Inceptors were the Gravis, weren't they?
No, they guys with the jump packs.
Yeah, they were the Gravis ones.
And the ski boots. Terrible.
Awful.
But that's why we've got Heresy, so we get real Space Marines and not
awful.
Not whether the Primaris are. I still say the Intercessor was quite a nice design, but it should have been a normal Space Marine, just, you know.
Yeah. I still like aggressors, I can't help it.
Yeah, you're weird like that. I think they're okay. I see a lot of aggressor in the new Saturnines, and I think that's why I kind of don't like them a little bit.
I'm not sure that I do.
Because the way the arms hang and everything like that, they look a bit weird.
I think it's mostly the Terminator style helmet that does it. It's like a cross between Terminators and Mark V, and I'm like, oh, Mark V, eh? That'd be nice.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see the super heavies for Legions Imperialis. Nothing could beat the ridiculous new devs. Oh, the despoilers, yeah, my word. Nerf guns all round. That genuinely looked like one of the designs was just like, shit, I completely forgot to design anything. Right, gives it to his 8-year-old. Goes, you know.
Oh, were they Desolators?
Oh, Desolators. That's not Despoilers. Desolators. Yeah, that's it.
Straight out of Action Force.
Terrible. They say he got his kid to do it. Yeah, they sucked. I mean, I don't know. 5 minutes to go. 40k is just going to a direction that I just think leans away from all that, and whether they course correct or not, we'll have to wait and see. But there's been a lot of 40k stuff, and I'm just like, it's not really working for me. Like
it's the rules.
Stilt McStilty from the Adeptus Mechanicus comes to mind.
Why? I mean, it's kind of like 2000 AD vibes from back in the day. I can just imagine like a lonely, stilt little Skitari guy with like a rifle just standing lonely in a swamp, keeping an eye out. But I'm like, it looks shit though.
Yeah, Primax for Legions Imperialis is a really good one there, Colonel Bellington. I kind of thought that what they might do is release them with like a little retinue in resin.
What they'll have to, otherwise they'll be fucking.
You can't have just one little dude on his own.
A centimetre high.
That's £35, please. But I could kind of see them doing a Primarch and some dudes around them like a retinue. So you'd have like almost like a command squad. Because let's face it, when you get the to the size of the battles for Legions Imperialis, you really should. That's where you could put a Primarch. Whereas when you're playing a game of Horus Heresy, even a 3,000 point game just looks like a skirmish, and you're like, oh, there's a Primarch there again. So yeah, it'd be nice to see them in Legions Imperialis. Oh my god, we've just had a thunderstorm warning issued in Nottingham.
Nice.
There you go. Custodies who fly. Oh, don't give them ideas. Like Valkyries all over again. Yeah, I mean, I think the female Custodies is an inevitability. And while they have removed the text from the new rulebook, as my video said, not at all controversial video in the slightest. No. I don't think female Marines will be anytime soon, but the barriers to such are being, at the end of the day, GW is going to do whatever the hell they want to do. It's as simple as that, because they think it will make money. That's their primary. As I've said, anytime I see anything from GW these days, I whatever it is, I just kind of question whether it's for the good of the game or whether it's just to make money in the short term. So we'll just have to wait and see. We're getting very, very close now, aren't we?
2 minutes.
Nice. So yeah, it's Age of Sigmar 10th edition, so I expect to see quite a quite a lot of stuff there. And Warcry is dead, so there won't be anything for that. Kill Team was on there though, wasn't it?
I think so.
Did you see there's a new, smaller Kill Team box set coming out?
No.
Good Lord, Matt, we got a compliment. Chris said, I've got to say, I really enjoy your channel, guys. You seem to have your head screwed on the right way compared to a lot of the rest of the GW Warhammer community. Keep it up, mates. Oh,
I don't know. That sounds like an expensive compliment. We're going to get demand up. Thanks,
yeah, I mean, we just kind of wanted to offer something different, really. As I've said so many times before, we didn't really want to be a Valrack. I didn't want to be a Discourse. I just wanted something in between. I've worked for several different wargaming sort of tabletop companies, including Games Workshop, and Matt is, also a veteran gamer and everything. So we were just kind of hoping that we could give that perspective and not be tied into either sort of hating GW all the time. Because the thing is, we don't hate Warhammer. We might not like GW very much.
Don't like 40k anymore.
But we want to see this stuff being good. We all love this universe. I wasn't just painting my Sisters of Sigmar because I was bored. I was painting them because I really liked the models. And they needed a bit of a touch up after 15 odd years. They got a bit beat up. But I think it's the same for most people. I think there are certain people who don't like Warhammer and want to sort of transform it and make it something different. But for most of us, we just want some decent bloody models, and something to be excited about. And we just don't want to be told that we are problematic for enjoying the universe the way it has been for a long bloody time, It's the same as people who play the Germans, for example, in Bolt Action, don't want to be, told they're problematic just because they play the Germans. Now, if you turn up in a full SS uniform and start speaking, Deutsch, then maybe, but just because you play the bad guys doesn't mean anything. And yeah, I miss how GW used to be when I worked there. Yeah, I mean, I worked there 20 years ago now.
Hello,
2 beards are on the screen.
And welcome. We are very excited to welcome you today.
Cool those
to
beards.
the big summer Warhammer preview. My name is Adam Trope.
see them,
I'm joined by
so
my
I
friend and
suppose.
colleague Eddie Eccles, and it is our delight to host this show.
Yeah, very exciting. We have a big preview today.
There's a lot
There's
going
a
on.
lot of stuff. There's a lot of
Turn
Warhammer.
up
We've
a
got
little
stuff
bit.
from all sorts of different settings, from Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, some Horus Heresy in the mix there as well. There's a little bit of something for everybody, it's fair to say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's talk about how it's going to work a little bit. If you're new, maybe this is your first Warhammer preview you've joined in. We are your hosts, but we are not
Simon
alone.
Grant.
We have the excellent
Cut his
Simon
hair off.
Grant sat over there in question corner. Simon, what are you doing today?
Hey folks, welcome
The
to the show.
long-haired,
I'm gonna be
bearded
filling
gamer is
questions
dead.
On behalf of Eddie and Adam.
I have
if
a
you do
lot
have
of
any
time for
questions
Simon.
that you'd like
He's a
to
good
ask,
bloke.
in person
Yeah,
a few
I've
times. Yeah, he's
start
really
our
nice.
question with
Always
question
happy to chat
in
Warhammer
big
World.
letters, capital letters at the
Yep.
start of all your comments, and I will do my best to track them, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity later on in the show to ask Eddie and Adam those questions.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Thanks, Simon. We're going to be taking some breaks throughout the sort of proceedings to try and field a few of those questions. We have a lot of content to cover off. We think we're going to be here for between an hour and 90 minutes if we go fast. So bear with us and we'll do our best. We're aware the chat is still filling up. There's people flooding in from around the world. So the first thing I'd like to do is throw a question out there, maybe get you involved, which is let us know where in the world you're from. I do it every time and I always enjoy the answer. And while you start punching in your coordinates, not too specific, I've got a question for you, Eddie. Done any hobby lately?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Adam. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of Horus Heresy hobby.
Very nice. You said you were going to.
I did, and I did. So I've got some white scars on my table at the moment, got them all sprayed up, and I've started painting a jet bike, but using some
I
of
just
the
said about a
Horus
mile
Heresy
and a half
transfers on
away
the
from
side,
you. I
so
hope
that's
that didn't
very
come
nice.
across as threatening.
Looking forward to getting some of that. I've also got some Space Wolves. I bought the new Space Wolf box.
Yes,
like a
Dale,
lot
I
of
was there
people.
right for
Very
the
excited by the new,
launch of
Space Wolf
third
box as well.
edition,
Very
basically.
even
so
it's
right
a
at the end of the
lovely,
90s.
it's a lovely
Extremely
box. I think
I
that
left in
brought a lot of people to
2001, I think it
Fenris,
was.
that particular box set.
No
How about
problem.
yourself? Have you been doing any
Well,
cool
I'm
Warhammer?
glad you asked. The short answer is yes. I bought myself some new a new kill team. I went for the Hernkin.
Hernkin?
Yesterday,
Fine
and
choice.
I'm going to
I
have
like
a crack
mine.
at that. I've not really painted kill team.
Not that I've
stuff.
used them yet.
I've always used things from my main army.
Was that
The other
Votan,
thing-
boys?
Oh, It's
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
went to the Throne of Skulls with my good
Like
friend
the salvager
Damien
guys in the
O'Byrne,
coats.
and we brought home a gold medal, which was super fun to play so many games of the Middle-earth strategy battle game together with so many lovely. Huge shout out. I met a father and son team who'd flown all the way across to join in from the US, and they're now hiking, backpacking around the mountains
What
somewhere
an
in Spain.
unexpected journey.
Literally. Tremendous. So I hope you get to tune in wherever you are. It was really fun. Thank you to all my opponents who played and then thought I wasn't.
Apparently, Middle-earth strategy battle game
nice.
got same kind of thing.
Si,
Load of
where
stuff
are people
stripped
from?
out.
Oh, all over the place. It's wonderful. So we've got folks from Australia, Canada, USA, Spain, pretty much all over the globe. Some are claiming they're even from Caliban. I'm not sure the truth of that one.
Only the
I think I might turn off the audio on the actual GW live screen and put on the audio on our stream instead.
Awesome. Right.
If you
So,
wish.
as I said before, we've
Whatever's
then
got
that
going to work
way-
for you, dude.
9
And in that way, we
minutes
won't be
worth
talking about
of,
stuff
like,
that's
wall-to-wall
that people
Warhammer
ain't seen
content in
yet.
this big summer
Probably a good
Warhammer
idea,
preview.
yeah.
We should probably look to begin.
Yeah, let's get stuck in, shall we?
Right, so, Raph, punch the first video.
What will be
Just
first?
before we go in, the new guy, he's a little bit peculiar, but just bear with, okay?
Okay, cool.
Okay, it's a new Votan. Tyranid Hunter.
Very specific. Is that new vehicles as well?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Just two
Nice.
dudes on a road trip.
Like a little quad bike
What
thing.
an incredible set of reveals
Yeah,
for
there's,
the Leagues
there's
of Voting.
quite a delay
Yeah,
on
so
our live
this
stream.
is the largest release for the Leagues
Well,
of
it should
Votan
be okay
since
because
the
we're
initial release
talking-
of the army. This is a huge expansion, all in plastic
trying to think.
for that force. There is new heavy infantry. There's some new artillery. There's loads of new, really characterful characters
there is a
to add
bit,
to the
isn't
army.
there?
There's some new vehicles,
watch that.
all sorts of stuff. So there's the kind of shot of the full army there. But let's take a closer look at some of the
I think it'll be all right, 'cause I think
specific
our
models, specific units being added into the force. We'll
Stream
start
is
with,
delayed.
so
So I
the
think
Arcanist
the voices should
Evaluator.
still line up.
Yeah, so
Let us know, guys.
Within the Leagues of Votan, they're not afraid of developing technology and expanding their understanding.
What on
So
earth is going on with that guy's eyes?
Evaluator is kind of
Bionic, probably.
aside from the ordinary kin within sort of the war bands that operate. He's a member of the science guilds that are responsible for new technologies, and he brings to battle an experimental weapon in the sort of closing phases of
It's okay,
development.
I just don't
This is a
really like the
transmatter
Votan. I
inverter.
kind of
It's a
wish
cool
there were
name.
Yeah, it's
squats.
got 4 fire modes.
I proper like it.
And on the highest one,
You
it
would.
literally triggers.
That's also,
little
by the way,
atomic
that is
transformations. What
a
that means
rumour
is
engine
that-
right there, that weapon
Yeah,
there.
So he's taken out his new experimental weapon basically to the battlefield.
'Cause I thought it was
to see if
Necron.
It is, as he suspects,
He does look a little bit like a Robotnik. He's getting a
does,
helmet.
yeah.
Whatever he happens to come up against.
Pretty much yes to the
Pretty
above.
much yes to all of the above.
It's his
He's
eyes. It
not
looks
part
like one
the
of those
official sort
Japanese anime
Leagues of
characters.
Votan military hierarchy, so he doesn't join your units necessarily, but he kind of hangs around in your army next to them,
Yeah.
and he's
start
got kind
saying
of low
"Uru" and stuff
ability of
like
being
that.
near your infantry, that sort of thing. But a very useful, characterful little model to add into your Leagues of Votan force, and a nice way of kind of showing the some of the
I kind
the
of like the
lore
cover
and
that they've
culture
put on
of
the feet
army as
to the
well for
backpack.
Leagues of
That's
Votan.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a glimpse behind the sort of the curtain, isn't it?
Just little
You see
details
some
like
of
that
the
that make them
things,
decent models and better
sort
than
of
most other
key into that.
companies.
He's got these optics on his weapon. You can almost imagine sort of recording the data from
It's
the
not cool.
results.
That's a very cool head as well, kind of mad scientist vibe going on.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, there's a separate, a different head that you can have, which is helmeted, or if you
Which
just
is much
fancy some
better.
health and safety protocols, then
Yeah.
that's the way to go. Next up, my absolute standout favourite. This is the thing that made me march into Warhammer World yesterday and buy some Leagues of Votan models for myself. The Memnir Strategist.
I do think that's
he
quite
is
a
an
nice model.
Ironkin. Those of you who are fans
Yep.
of the League of Votan will understand that the Ironkin are
Abominable
essentially,
intelligences.
well, not in their mind, but they're artificial intelligences which they hold an equal position within Votan society.
He kind of
There's a
reminds me of that
unit inside of,
Mechanicum model
each
that
of
I
them.
really like.
And that's sort of within that iron dome that is normally
The
his head.
Manipulus?
The first really
Yes.
cool thing about this model is that you see the little noodly things that are on in the Imperium. You call them mechadendrites, right? These cables that come out of him. Each of those is an additional CU unit, so he is the combined
But
intelligence.
Dr.
of
Octopus has even got the
multiple
bloody
iron
cloak.
essentially.
Oh yeah, there are a bunch
Uses
of little
that
heads.
to
They're a little
enormous effect in terms of
AI
strategy
robot
and
heads
tactics on the battlefield,
on the mech
directing the
end
efforts
right.
of the kin around him. It keys into a
Sure, that's
rule as
exactly what
well,
the Lady Votan use them
yield
for.
Points, which we'll talk a little bit more about
Outrageous.
later. And most importantly, he looks amazing.
It's
They
a very,
probably
very
glow.
cool
They use them
miniature,
to see in
really
the dark.
colourful. I think also got some spare arms on the
Yeah,
front there,
you
which
get
is holding on to
bonus
his,
arms.
holding
For when
on to
you're
his little
exploring
data pad, he's
crevices.
tapping away on there.
I think his
giving
winky's
orders to all
tapping on the
various,
pad.
Kin and Lisa Votan units across the battlefield.
That's
And
why
now
he's just got
main
his hands
power
like that. He's just like,
is
look what I can
to
do.
hold
It's a
his
red
contemplative
dwarf
state, which is the
tribute.
exact
It's a
pose
groin
that I have when I'm
attachment.
considering my movement phase.
I think it might well be, yeah.
And if you want to dazzle your friends with some knowledge, the array he's got on his back is called a cognitar mantle, and that's where he gets like his extra brain power from.
It's a nice model,
Really sensational.
Oh god, you guys are so
Speaking
lucky you
of
can't see the chat.
Ironkin,
This is what I talk about when I say
these
people are
are
entitled.
a
Everybody's like,
unit
oh, this is
Ironkin.
bullshit.
They
We
are
don't
called
need
the
this. Shut
Steel
up.
Decks.
Show the
Something
models.
all
Blah
in
blah
one
blah.
name. Eddie, what's the story?
Yeah, so this is
Someone in the chat
Steel
literally just
Decks.
said,
They
"You
are
manipulous."
specialist, kind of more warrior
like those
type of
Ironkin.
Ironkin. A lot of the Ironkin are fairly sort of helpful.
I
They're kind of
like
default
them.
Normal
Yeah,
civilian roles
They
as
look
such.
quite
default status are
un-Votan
sort
like,
of,
I would say.
friendly, affable.
But that might
Yeah,
be
I do
the point.
like them. I do like them.
helpers for the Lisa Votan.
But that might be the point.
These are a much
They're
more
kind of like
warlike programming.
an
so
attempt to
they march
ensnare
out
players
into
that don't like
battle
the
seeking,
short stuff.
People
they
who've
are
got something against the
very large
stunties,
ships
yeah?
of armor, so they stand
Yeah.
kind of almost twice the height of a kin or a League of Votan warrior, and they have got some pretty decent weaponry as well. You can kit them
Just
out.
makes
in a
you think
variety
you could
of
have a
different
really
ways. You
cool
can
Men
either
of
go,
Iron army.
Combat leaning. This is
Yeah,
an
I'm looking at
example
these
there.
guys and I'm kind of
You
going,
can have,
Games
like,
Workshop,
concussion
in the
fists
future,
and,
how big are these guys
bolt
going to
guns, or you
get?
can go
Yeah,
with a ranged option.
So it's the
In
attack of the
game
50-foot
terms, they look a little
Votan.
bit like Wraithguard, I suppose, is the closest approximate. So very durable unit, quite powerful
I like
weaponry.
the design,
very
I just
good
don't
doing
like them
things
for
like
Votan.
moving on to an objective and trying to
Yeah,
hold
oh,
on
that
to
sounds
it,
like a you
and
problem. I think it's
fighting
fine.
off
That's just
enemy
me.
counterattacks, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, in real terms, heavily armed, heavily armoured, extremely dangerous unit. You can see the leader in this.
Yeah,
squad.
I much prefer the design of
really
these
pictures like the
squats from
framework
Necromunda,
crest,
if
which
I'm
sort of
being
rises
honest.
above his head. There we are in the background. He's got a plasma sword. Guy on the front's got a concussion fist. Great new addition to the Leagues of
But they are
Votan,
nice
I think
models.
fair
I
to
do
say.
like them.
We're not done.
Stick them in
There's
something
more.
like
those-
Mechanicum or something.
Chthonian Earthshaker.
Are those
channels
mole
some
mortars?
Really strong energy from that.
No,
sort
they're
of
Chthonian
rogue
Earthshakers.
Friendly era. Do you remember mole mortars?
But
from
really?
Squad
Well,
Army?
Of course they're
Yes.
mole. I think they're mole mortars.
So these are sort of inverse.
Bring back another
artillery in
classic.
that rather than lobbing a shot
Squats
high above the
did
enemy,
have
they
mole
can
mortars.
fire
I mean, to be
those
fair,
multiple
they
shells
shared a lot of
down the
Imperial
bottom,
tech
deep into
first
the
time
ground.
round, so
They burrow
Yeah,
in on the
look
enemy
alright.
and emerge in a trench line, in a bunker.
Nothing
and
that
just
I'm
blow
gonna-
everyone to Kingdom Come.
Each one of these is a really lovely sort of diorama in their own right as well. So you can see the kin there working.
presume
with
it's
the
all coming
Iron
in
Kin,
an army
loading up
box.
The artillery. You can see one of
Probably.
them there with his little scanner, almost
Because they showed the whole
directing
lot at the end.
bowl
It
as
was
it
like
kind of,
two of the bike
buries
things
underground
and a couple of
towards the
these. And
fortifications.
Yeah, the buggies.
Obviously,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
powerful
I'm guessing it's
piece
going to be
in-game.
a
You've got all sorts of
£150
nice kind of
army
ways that
box.
this will bolster your Leagues of Votan force, which at the moment maybe doesn't have a huge amount of very long range.
They're cool
artillery.
though. I mean, the Votan
And yeah, it's a great kit, really.
needed a bit of a boost,
Speaking
in
of
my
the bigger
opinion.
models
So
that
this,
are inside
adds a bit of
launch,
variety.
we have the Capricus.
Yeah.
So the Capricus is one of those kits that makes.
That is a nice
things.
buggy.
You can see here the Capricus Defender. We'll show you the Capricus Carrier in a
Yeah,
minute.
I don't know.
Essentially,
It's
it is
got
either
design
a
influences
sort
from
of
all over the
attack
place. It's
vehicle
okay.
For the Hernkin, or it's a transport vehicle.
But then I look at this,
Yeah.
and then I look at
So
the
this is
Explorator that
this
got
is the
released
carrier,
for
so it's a smaller
Necromunda,
gun
and I'm
that's
like,
got,
yes,
less
that's much
other
better. That's what,
weapons on it. You can see the stowage
this looks
bag
too
and the
futuristic and
quick
too
revival
kind of
bag.
StarCrafty, I
Whichever
guess.
you take, essentially this is
A little bit, but the
enabling
Votan are
to
quite
get around from A to
StarCrafty.
B and
Kind of
hunt
the angle they
ground
went
that they're
for.
taking.
Yeah, so it adds a bit of a mobility into your Leagues of
Capricus
Votan
Defender.
force. It's carries 5
Now you
models,
know
so
why
it's a
Matt's
little
here,
bit
because
like,
I'll just be like,
the other kind of
I'm not
Leagues
really a
of Votan
fan of it. And
transports
Matt's like, it's
where
really nice.
you
I'm
pick
like,
one of your units,
That's
split
all right.
into 2 groups of 5. 5 of them
I have
can ride
Votan,
around one of these.
so-
If you've got 2 of the
You do have
transports,
the
you can
Votan,
obviously ride them
yes,
around in
yeah.
2 of the
I
transports.
think my
and as you
Votan. I'm
say,
actually
Adam, you
happy
can choose
to
between
attempt
either
to
having
play
the
10th
transport
edition
option,
with
or you
with
can
Mike
have all the
because
guns
I
and
haven't
have
got any
the
history with them. I never
fast
played them in
moving
9th,
fire
so I've
support.
got no
Okay,
comparison.
this
Yeah.
is what made me march off to Warhammer World yesterday and buy the Hernkin.
There's some really lovely little touches on this. The stowage bags are really nice at the back. I like that you can build this with 2 Ironkin as well. So if you want an Ironkin pilot and an Ironkin gunner, you can build them like that. Fans of Ironkin generally, there is a lot of Ironkin
quite
in this
understand
Leagues of
what
Votan
it's
release.
Absolutely so.
trying to do, but it's not bad for a
Is that a
start
new-
with you.
There's also
It's a new combat patrol, all the
old
combat
stuff,
patrol
innit?
for the Leagues
Yeah.
of Votan on the way. we're all familiar with combat patrols. If we're familiar
Again,
with Warhammer
fairly good
40,000,
value, 'cause I think
if you're
those
new, let me explain what they do.
big
It's a
lads are
fantastic way
like
to start
30
an
quid for
army.
free.
Or
So
to bolster an army if you've
I want
already
the
got
fire
one.
support guys at the
Somebody
back. I
focuses
can't remember
on
what they're
those
called.
sort of
yeah,
thin
and
bands
the
that make up the main
is that a
scale
character at
push.
the front
You've got
on the
Thunderbolts
5
down the
thingies,
heart,
isn't it?
rear guard in the middle.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you
there's
basically
five
you're
guys.
getting the lads at the back.
Terminator improvements.
Just one of
Yeah,
the
you're getting the lads at the back for
ingredients to
free.
bulk our force.
Yeah, there's some really useful units in there as well. Like you
Well,
don't
there is
tend
three.
to see a League of Votan army that doesn't have all of those units.
there's
Votan
no
don't
wastage
use,
there,
just
right?
don't,
it's
just
all
don't do
good
it for me.
stuff. A couple of boxes of these.
a personal
and then
thing.
A couple of the new units, and
You see, I like their exo armored half guard, but I'm still not sure about the shoulders on them. They look
Now,
very
onto,
odd.
for many
Yeah, I'm
people,
with you, Chris. They don't look
bigger
dwarfy
than
to
I
me.
expected
They've
on
got
the
like
event
a
that
few
was released.
dwarf design
This is
elements,
very
like with the
Aegnacin.
angles and stuff on the
Eddie?
shoulder pads, and
So very
obviously
Aegnacin is the
you know, the kind of
last
Celtic
survivor of
a
League of
filigree
Votan
and
clan,
stuff
which
like
has
that.
been
But I just
consumed
prefer the design
by
of the squats from
encroaching
Necromunda, I'll
Tyranid
be
menace.
honest.
He is known as the
You
thrice
just should be able to just proxy in the
Tyranid
Cadron
monster,
overlords.
like,
I only use
eaten
these
guy.
guys.
But that
Yeah,
was
pretty
enough
much,
keep him
pretty much,
down.
to be honest. I
He
always thought
clawed
it
his
looked
way
better.
out of its gullet, climbed his way
Now that
back
guy
out to safety
looks
3
awesome.
times apparently.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And now goes across
Especially the
the
helmet.
galaxy, across the
If he's not-
Kin
no, he's
warbands
not Iron Kin, he's
as
got a
a
human arm.
roving Tyranid killing specialist.
Yeah,
effectively.
absolutely. He in terms of specialist, he is an absolutely elite.
Oh, I like the,
combat unit. He's equipped with
360
that
makes him look
Dark Star
quite
blade,
nice.
which you see there, which is called Bane.
It's about time they did that.
He's pure violence in melee form.
I
that's
think you're going
nice.
to get a lot of this guy in army.
Taking
because
tactical
his
rock to a
rules
whole
are
new
very
level.
good. He is.
Yeah, boy, he kind of needs
He's
it,
got
innit?
a
He's a
great
bit short.
combat stat line, but he's also a lone operative. So you can imagine this guy advancing either on his own or alongside, kind of behind your forces. And
Yeah, that's
swooping in
cool.
on
I like that
big
they've
enemy
put in
monsters
like
to
a
get forward to
Tyranid
fight.
hunter specifically
And
because
the
in the
lore really
original,
goes into it.
like
So
in the
the
original
member of
timeline, it was kind of like,
the
oh,
only
the squats
member
all got
now
eaten by
called
Tyranids.
the
That's why there's not any anymore.
which is
High
one of the
Fleet rolled
League
over
of
and went
Votan.
nom.
Literally wiped
Yeah.
out down to the very
Yeah,
last
I like that.
king,
That's a nice
which
model.
is this guy.
That is a nice model.
And so he's so bitter. His
That's
whole
a
life
good
is
helmet.
devoted now to just hunting down.
See, I
his
think that
enemies
most of
and
them
supporting
would look better
other
with
leagues to
helmets
send
like that.
into them.
Yeah.
Like their
You see that
Terminator,
played out on
especially.
his model.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got this sort of belt.
Yeah, kind of
buckle,
like,
which very much looks like he's
you've
sort of
played
taken some
Skyrim, haven't you?
adaptations From the
Yeah.
Tyranids.
Kind of like the,
It's got-
you
it
know,
looks like
the
we've been having
is it
quite a
Dwemer
discussion about this
from
Tyranid
Skyrim?
Prime,
Bit more of
think
that.
so.
I think it's a
over his
Tyranid
head.
Prime.
a very
he's
long
got
time.
over the top of his head.
Yeah.
There's a nice little nod in this model as well too.
I've played through Skyrim so many times now, it's ridiculous.
The idea at some point that the
I think it's
squats were
Skyrim that's got the
eaten by
Catatonia
Tyranids.
reference in it.
absolutely. We
And
used to-
this guy
It's got
kind of
lyrics
well,
from the
yeah, they were
Catatonia
eaten
song.
by the Tyranids, but also
Nah.
they clawed their way out again. So there
Absolutely.
is a little bit of truth to that sort of that outdated understanding maybe of what happened to that.
New codex.
It's another
Fantastic.
underwhelming
All this
codex
obviously
cover, though.
supported With Codex Leagues of Votan,
Yeah.
the new Codex for Warhammer 40,000, which contains. I've had quite a while to read this week. It's just full of spankingly good lore. It's got great rules and art. It explains all of the new things, obviously. In terms of the rules, there's too much to go into in any real detail here. But a thing to cover would be those yield points, which is the sort of army-wide mechanic which underpins them.
Absolutely, yeah. So yield points effectively changes the way your army works over the course of the game, and it works.
The chat's
in
exploded
ways
into
that,
Deep Rock
the Leagues of
Galactic
Votan
references.
approach acquisition, effectively. So early on in the
approve.
game, when you haven't got very many yield points, you're getting bonuses for attacking enemy units on objectives for the most part across your army. And then later on, once you've acquired yield points, you get bonuses for having your own units on objectives. So they get better at defending them, better bonuses for their own defense, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it
so
sort of encourages you to play in that very sort of acquisition-focused way that the Leagues of Votan work.
and it's a really great mechanic, right? Because
Sounds
it's
a little
exactly
bit
how
better
you
than
win
judgment
games in Warhammer
tokens.
40,000.
Yeah.
Early on, you kick
Yeah.
people off objectives. Later
Yes,
on,
Jack,
you
got to
hold on
have
the
got to keep the
objectives.
sales patter
And
going.
some of the new
It's like
units we've
QVC.
shown And some of the units that already exist in the Votan army now have rules that key into that. For example,
Yeah, JDS, I'm with you on the Codex
just lets
covers.
you
Just yeah,
increase or decrease
not working
your,
for me at all.
Your yield score by
Oh.
1 each turn.
Yeah.
So really
I
sort of.
prefer the bold ones that you got
thoughtfully
like in
put
7th.
so it's
They were much
amazing.
nicer.
Well,
What,
by
the
rank.
Raymond
full function of the army,
Swanland?
you can just go,
Yeah, I think that was the guy. He did great work.
He did do nice stuff, yeah.
We should show some of the models.
Let's do it.
Hey,
yeah.
stop touching
So
those
we've
miniatures.
got some in front of us. We're very lucky to be allowed to put our paws on the heavy metal miniatures. So there'll be a bit of sort of scale comparison here. But here you can see this is the Arcanist, and then you've got the Memnir. They're like normal Votan sized. So
Nice.
any kin is about the same sort of proportion as those. And here you can see just how sort of much bigger the Steeljacks are. I think your comparison Eddie, that you made to compare them to
Steeljacks
the
kind of
Wraith
remind me
Guard
of
is really
like
quite fair.
Yeah, they're about
Phobos
the
on the
same size as
bottom,
the Wraith
and
Guard.
then
It's kind of in that ballpark of
Votan
Votan on the top.
heavy
no,
infantry.
yeah, kind of.
This is the new artillery piece. It's maybe not
Or the
like
Mechanicum
as big
robots,
as
Castellans.
something like an Imperial Guard tank or something like that, but
Oh, the 40k ones.
compact, mobile, that sort of thing, fitting in with the aesthetic of the rest of
The best thing about them was the Data
You can
Smith.
sort
It
of
was a
imagine
great
it
model.
starting
One of my
like as a
favourites
piece
still.
of mining equipment, and they've sort
Yes,
of
very cool
evolved it into a weapon.
You can definitely see sort of
Power
some of those
fist and a
origins. I just
gamma
wanna draw
pistol?
some
I think that
attention to some
pistol
of
was
those super cool
ridiculously
bits. So
potent.
This guy here, you can see over his shoulder.
Yeah,
he's
you
got
really
a
get to
data
see how
plate.
small they are,
You've
don't you?
got this,
It's just like
Yeah.
tiny little
loading
guys.
hatch that you can model open.
I think the
or
original
closed.
squats were smaller.
On this side, you've got a case which has more of the shells.
Oh god, I might have to
Get
turn off the
spare
chat. You
shells to
know,
put on their own bases.
get to
it's-
AOS, get to the
it's just a
Space
really
Marines, get to
thoughtfully
this, get
designed
to
and
that.
Very exciting kit.
How about you shut the fuck
So,
up?
We should show more though.
Not you
because this
guys,
is
you
by
guys
no
are awesome.
means the end of it.
Absolutely, we've got the Capicus here, so just make some space
Oh,
on
there's
the
the
table
buggy.
so we can have a look at this guy. So
I
this
do
is
like
your
it,
new,
it's cool.
Your new vehicle. This is the Defender pattern, which is the gun version.
You can
and
tell
as
it's a
can
new
see
army
there,
that they've
there's a
started
lot
from
of space,
scratch
quite enough space for
because
transport on this
it
one,
does
but there is
look
one which is a
sort of
transport
all
vehicle.
scaled
I
to
really
each
like
other.
the Iron King.
Whereas
Actually,
a lot of
he's
the
got
stuff that
like
they
a
added
quite
onto
small, yeah, 'cause
things
they wouldn't
or
fit
onto
a
ranges
full-size,
is all the wrong scale.
kin in there,
So, like for
it's
example,
a really
the
tiny
Dark
Iron King,
Eldar
actually
witches
perfectly
now
designed for the
are
role.
incredibly small
Absolutely,
compared to a
and,
lot of other
I guess the
stuff.
star of the show
Oh.
himself in many ways.
He is.
Because those models
So
are
the thrice devoured there. So,
Aged.
He's still
Getting
kind
on
of
for
tin
20
size,
years now,
but you
maybe?
can have kind of have a look on this model here. That so much of him is now bionic, right? So he's been chewed up and
Bionic fingers that do it.
yeah, chewed up
Really
and
cool.
spat out so many times that like his arm, bits of his arms, there, most of his face, perhaps a kind of unspecified
It's a
amount
nice
of his
model, that
body
one.
is
I
probably
will give
been
them that.
dissolved by horrible turned bioacid in their stomach and things.
Looks
but he's
awfully
still kicking,
inconvenient,
and
hauling
it
that
also shows
tuned carcass
how
around though.
durable the kin are, right? So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, the
specially
original
designed
squats
by
were
their
about
Votan
2/3 the
to
size of
be
Votan.
durable to endure kind of the most hostile.
They're much
conditions.
smaller.
Oh,
This is a
they're
good
tiny.
example
Yeah, I
of how
mean
that
the
stuff
scale's
works.
still increased
Yeah,
no
it's
matter
really
what
cool,
you
isn't
say.
it?
Yeah,
So,
I'm looking at my old
I
metal
think
one
we've
now.
covered the
I
league
managed to
pretty thoroughly, right?
Yeah.
have it from my parents'
Before
place.
we
but I still have it.
move on, we're going to go to the old world next. A couple of sort of housekeeping bits. The first one would be we're going to return to the 41st Millennium at the end of the preview. So, particularly if you like Kill Team, but also there's some other things for other factions as well. Do hang around if you like Warhammer 40,000. The other thing I would say is that lots of the people who mentioned that they were joining us from around the world.
not sure your social
you can
teams wanna
our
interact with
social
most of the
teams. We have,
people
sort of
after this week.
social teams that manage our various
Feel
sort
free
of,
to interact with our
media
social
pages.
teams.
Here they
I'm
are.
afraid we've
If
been
you wanna
interacting with your
have a
social
little
teams all
conversation,
morning.
the language which suits you.
Godly annoyed us.
Go knock yourself out. They're really
They
lovely
were certainly
people.
engaged.
They're really engaged and want to.
They're engaged in deleting
sort of
Cole's
make sure that
comments.
You get to hear about Warhammer in
Yeah.
the language that suits you. So, and if you speak English or you're willing to take a pot
It's quite funny because apparently Warhammer have stopped using Twitter
conversation.
Yeah, we'll see that.
in the UK and
Right.
the US,
Time
but their
for a
Twitter
little
accounts are
bit
still
of
running in
Warhammer.
places like Japan and stuff.
So,
So yeah,
first up, we have
some nice new
brand
Tomb
units
Kings.
for the Tomb Kings
Oh, nice.
Khemri. This is a new multi-part plastic kit that makes the Royal Heralds. The easiest way to describe these is that you have a battle standard bearer and you have.
they're quite nice.
hero
It's a massive
flash
difference
sword. You could
between
make
the
that and call
old
it a
horses
sword.
and the new horses that they've done.
You get a battle standard, which you can put on either thing. So if you
Like
fancy
these
Hey, that
ones
horse
moving battle
actually look half
standard, stick on the
decent.
horse guy. If you fancy
That horse has
like
got a
standing
pet
around
snake.
in one of your big
It has.
regiments of skeleton warriors or tomb guard, then go for the on foot version. There's some options in terms of head things as well. Battle standard bearers are key to Warhammer armies. If you play the
Yeah,
old
it's
world,
nice.
you'll know.
Yeah, I love this battle standard. That kind of weird scorpion.
How old's
both the
World-
paint
Old
scheme
World now?
and the
2
model
years?
itself are
1
very
year?
cool. As you say, this is
Nice.
multi-part as well, so you can. swap
I'm
between
going to go for a year and a half.
faster
It's in the
ones
middle
or
on it.
Chariots or something in your army.
Yeah, yeah.
You can mix them in. I would imagine there's
Maybe
a fair
2
bit
years, I
of
think, now.
customizability between this kit and some of the other Tomb Kingy bits as well.
Yes, yeah.
Might actually
not
more than
just
that.
within this kit
Dunno.
itself, but also
No.
I think
There's
like
still stuff in the
uh,
Drukhari range you literally can't buy.
So this isn't the only new plastic kit coming for.
I
this.
don't
No,
think, I
wants
don't
to.
think you
Also
I
have
don't
the
think you can buy grotesques at the
who
moment.
are fundamental to the workings, literally, of the Tomb King.
Yeah,
That might
you
be a
absolutely
precursor
need
to them
Mint
getting
Breeze in your
plastic,
army
so-
if you've got a
Oh, they're
Tomb
quite
King's
nice
army.
as
Your
well.
army
Oh
only
yeah,
will welcome
blatantly, but
because
it's just
you've
saying you
had
can't get them at the
princes.
moment.
It's their job to.
Oh, that's very much a horseman. That front one. That's like
Again, this is a multi-part
famine
kit. There's some
with his
lovely
scales.
options on these. You can see they're perhaps a little bit less dead than some of the other Khemri,
Yeah,
but they're
they've
still
got
very
some desiccated
definitely,
skin
yes,
hanging
definitely
on.
desiccated.
Nice
Definitely
models.
spent far too long in the desert.
Love to see the kind of
I love
old
the
school
vulture on the top
non
of the,
Age of
the
Sigmar
stand.
Yeah,
style.
absolutely.
It's all nice and
Stuff.
serious.
Bringing
Yeah.
it back. It's a really lovely image. These sort of animated creatures that have sort of come alive
Yeah.
through the magic of the rituals. That
I
have
think
taken
you were
place.
saying as well that looks like it's right straight out of a piece of Warhammer art. doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Sadly, the guy at the
Mounted
back
in
does look
particular,
like he
I think,
smelled a
they're
fart.
both exquisite.
But,
He
The
does,
mounted
doesn't he?
guy from sort of the perfect
like he was
angle
having a
just
nap
looks
and
like
someone
he-
guffed down a tube into his
and mean
face.
that as the highest possible compliment. Toon King veterans might be wondering if that's extra armor on the skeletal steed. It certainly is.
Hey, Mini Mundus liked your
We'll talk a little
conflict
bit more
video.
about that in a moment. But yes, you can have a barded skeletal steed, which I think,
Awesome.
might
Thank you
be
very
quite
much.
useful if we
Conflict
had
looks good.
more
I just
armor
think it's
saving in your Toon King's army.
just a teach me overpriced. I
I
think
guess
they
we
should
can
be just
talk about
aiming
that now.
under
We go
GW,
across to
basically.
Also coming out.
Now
is
that
a
is a
new
codex
Arcane
cover.
Journal, The
That's
War of
nice. That's
Septus
old
Fury,
school, isn't it?
etc. The Imperishable
That is a
is
codex
very,
cover.
very angry.
Nice.
His lands have been defiled. He feels like he owns everything. And he is launching a full-scale invasion northward.
So I
into
suppose that
the
answers the
sort of
question of
border
what do they do
region
when they've
between
done all the
Empire
armies
and
for
Britannia,
Warhammer or the Old World.
sort
They
of
go back
known
to the
as
first one
Bolts.
again.
Well, it's an
Also,
arcane
we
journal,
have a
so it's going to be
system
campaign type stuff like what 30k is going to
dwarves.
get.
I wonder who they're up
Got some
against.
dispossessed barons and nobles from both the Empire and
Interestingly,
Britannia,
it's hardback.
and so they are forced to rally in defence of.
I'm not
a
sure if the
full-scale
30k ones are hardback.
invasion
No,
of the undead
and actually
from
the
Kenner. There are rules for sort of allied
Old
forces,
Worlds one weren't
playing
hardback.
smaller games. In
Unless
like
it's
a
just a
timely and
mock-up.
interesting
Yeah, it
fashion.
might just be a
It's
mock-up, to be
packed,
fair.
and it's a really cool way of looking at the lore of the old world and how.
Yeah, so license expiration,
explain
unfortunately,
things
Dale.
that take place in
When I was
particular parts
working
of the
there,
Warhammer timeline.
I got to find out a few things about the license, including how much they had to release to keep the license going and stuff. So it's not the worst thing that's happened to Judge Dredd, because Taika Waititi's just been confirmed to do a new Judge Dredd film.
In this piece, it really just
Oh, ABC
explains
Warriors
the
though.
imagery that we saw
I haven't
before.
seen
I
any
love
of them for a long time.
There's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
Arcane Journal coming.
Warlords
which
were
is
about
equally
halfway
exciting.
through
It happens
doing
at
them.
The other side, quite literally, of the region in the old.
I remember
world.
casting
In
the,
old world.
great
This is
big
Dawn of the
Judge
Storm Dragon, and
Dread
it features, a
flying
bold
things,
cheek
can't remember what they're
move
called
made
now.
by Miao Ying, who's the lady pictured.
They
in
got
the
so
centre.
hot
She's,
because there was so
one of the
much
children of the
resin in
Dragon
that
Emperor,
model.
And she learns
could
of
feel
the
it.
Chaos Invasion, which is happening in the north, and is concerned that it's going to gain too much traction. So loads ships full
Cafe Journal.
of Grand Cathayan soldiers and sails to the Empire, sets up an enclave, and helps to try and stymie this Chaos Invasion. In real terms, that's A, a cool story, and B, there's rules in there for all sorts of things, including the opportunity to have an allied force of Grand Cathay and the Empire of Man.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
That is
We've
really
never had
cool,
anything
yeah.
like that before, really, have we? So.
Yeah, so, and I think this is sort of...
What if they might get round to doing
great
something like
example of the really sort of
Dogs of
bold
War
and
or something like that for the
exciting
old
things
world?
that
That'd be
the
cool to see those
studio
come
team
back.
responsible for the old world
I like
doing.
Dogs of War.
They clearly love the setting. They want to explore it in really rich and vibrant.
I remember we at Thurrock we had like
Absolutely.
a Dogs
So,
of War intro table.
We should.
And they
throw
just
over
all
some
got
questions
nicked
on
over
there
time.
and see if Simon
Like a
has
Oh,
unit
no.
of 18
what
long-tongue
questions
slayers
What
got
have you got for us, Simon?
taken down to about 3
Loads and
models.
loads of questions. I think the majority of them are focusing on the
Simon
League of
saying.
Votan. There's loads of shiny new toys coming out there. of
That's
course.
a lie, Simon, and you know it. All the
first one is
questions are about
actually
heresy.
about the judgment tokens. Are they still a thing? Obviously, we've got the yield rules, but what about judgment tokens?
So the focus in terms of the arming mechanic is those yield points that we've talked about before. It's always good when we get a question which is like, can you tell me the really grainy, like granular rules things? Because the
90
answer is
minutes,
no,
hour and a
we've
half.
got 90 minutes to rail through as much stuff as we can, as fast as we can. We'll cover way more detail about Votan rules and mechanics and all those things as we lead towards it. But you're in
Are they subtle changes like 30k got?
Yeah.
And it's quite exciting.
We've got another one, which were the funky drill shell tokens on the Chthonian Earthshaker. What do they represent?
So I do have a really short and candid answer for that. You saw them on the little base beside. The kit comes designed for you to have 2 of those. Mine, if I remember correctly, and don't like...
Yes,
sue
Dale,
me
I worked
if
at
I get it wrong,
Thurrock,
you put
Bluewater,
them down alongside
and
the Earthshaker
Southend.
when you deploy, and you can remove one from the game to give yourself rerolls.
Thurrock was, one of the premium stores. We actually took the sales results of all the other stores in our block at the end.
Yeah, so
And
the
we'd
units
make
have
up
a
silly
setup so that they
names
have
for
some
all of
specialist
the
cells, so that'd be like
stuff that we're taking
representing
sales
like, right,
numbers
well,
for.
these are one of the big ones now. This is the
Because it's
important
very boring, and it was like 10 o'clock at night.
And probably got time for one more, so let's
And then
go
we'd
with
fax
how
them through to
many
headquarters.
models
Yeah,
can the
fax.
Hackers carry it?
Great question.
It carries 5, so it works.
I'll
a
have you
little bit
know,
like some
my
of the
office
other
still
user
uses
boat
fax.
transports
Good
where
lord.
you take a unit of
It's finance for you.
10s,
Some people
split
are just
the unit in half.
habit.
So 5 of them can go in that. If you've got 2 of the transports, you can carry both the units round in those, or you can leave 5 of them back on your baseline and deploy them elsewhere.
Grand, that's good.
Nice one. Thank you.
Oh, cool. I never got to manage a store.
draw
I was left on my
curtain
own.
Hold on, hold on.
World, but
What?
we will go
What's he
to
saying?
the Mortal Realms instead. There's some exciting things
I
for
just
said
here. And let's start with a new battle tome for Death, the Death Grand
See, look at the
Alliance.
difference between that
These are the
that
flesh eater
cover
courts. Many of you will
and
be
the cover
familiar
for the
with them.
Khemri
These
stuff.
are the like foul and abominable
Not so good.
cannibal monstrosities who unfortunately have delusions, quite literally, of being noble and elegant and chivalric, and the truth couldn't be sort of further from that.
Yeah, they absolutely imagine that they are in service to some grand king on perhaps a grand crusade of some sort, or part of a
I did
pageant
quite like
or,
the idea that
a
the Flesh
noble
Eater
feast
courts
of
were
some
like the
sort, but are in
old
fact
Bretonnians
horrible
and they'd gone a bit
together,
mad.
as you
I did
say.
quite like
The
that.
new battle tome has all the
was
stuff
good.
that you would expect. Lots
I
of
just
new
don't like
ways
the
to
models.
use your army, new magic
Some of them are
abilities,
nice,
new,
some of them
enhancements,
not
changes
massive
to
on.
some of the way the war scrolls work, so
you
lots
know.
of exciting stuff. And perhaps most excitingly, there is a new miniature on the way to accompany them,
Oh
which
God,
is the
that's
High
horrible.
Falconer Felgrin. So much like the rest of the Flesh
what a
Eater
mess.
this guy is under an
It
illusion.
is, isn't it? It's just a
His
mess.
particular delusion is that he is a falconer in
I like the
charge
Batman.
of noble and
Which one?
wise
There's a few.
avian creatures.
Is
where
that what,
in fact
3 then?
He is in
It's
charge
3
of
bats.
a swarm of rabid
4 bats? I think there's one on his
and
head.
In the model is very characterful. Like he's got his. Kind
Not
of
sure if that's
weird,
part of his
crazy
outfit or
hands.
not.
He's got
You can see
kind of
the almost like the vestiges of that nobility that you were just referring to, right? He's got
Not
like
a fan of
very
that.
sort of like huntsman-y
No.
style hat on
Yep.
and the tattered robes of a person. That
Yeah, I
might be
really
born
like some of the underworld stuff,
he's
to be
got sort of
fair.
guts hanging off.
It's
Not
a
the
very
new stuff
fun-
so
very
much,
fun
but
miniature. I
the
think in
the old
spinning
Shade
shop, maybe you
Spire
can just
Spire
picture that
and
there's a
was
bat
it?
that comes with him, which is basically a token that represents
Wintermoor
something in the
and
game, where he sends one
Death,
of his
whatever it was.
falcons off to spy an enemy unit,
Used to love
and then
painting
give you
those.
bonuses
Got
in
about
games, basically. So these are
15
the
of
kind of
them.
spies, the eyes and ears of the Flesh Eater courts. And if you direct it to an enemy unit, it can give your squires, your kind of ghouls, bonuses.
kind of looks like an
against the enemy
orc.
that you
I
can
don't
do
like
things
it.
Take away their ward save and get better at killing them, basically. So a very useful unit to have in your game, and a very characterful model for your army.
Nice. There's also accompanying this release for the Flesh Eater Courts, the Charnel Watch. This is a new spearhead, so you can use it straight in games of spearhead, or you can use this to bulk out, or maybe you can use this to bulk out your existing Flesh Eater Courts army. This is a fast-moving, hard-hitting, infantry-focused.
That's the first age you've seen
spearhead.
my warhead,
It's got models
warhead
that you'll be
spearhead
very
I've seen.
familiar
I
with,
think
and the way that they
I think
synergise
is a
within
bit
this
shit.
game, within Spearhead is really fun. Expect sort of lightning assault.
Yeah,
and
not
then
feeling that at all.
Monstrous-sized infantry
Well,
to
guys.
sweep the enemy away.
Yeah, also a great
Sounds
start
fun.
to a larger
Yeah,
Age of Sigmar
absolutely.
army for Flesh Eater Courts. It combos really nicely with the existing Flesh Eater Courts spearhead. So if
Yeah.
you've got that already, you can add this in, and you've basically got.
I'm afraid
most of an
Warcry
army.
looks to be dead, guys.
Yeah, some really good stuff.
Yeah,
A couple of
chat's having
cannibal
trouble
monkeys
coming
in
to
there
terms
as well.
with it.
They are, aren't
It's
they?
what everybody
Always a
needs,
winner.
right?
I think they're through the negotiating stage of
There's
grief,
another
maybe.
battle tome for the sort of
In the
death
irritating
faction,
stage of
which is,
chatting.
the
Yeah.
Nighthaunt.
Oh
You
man, the
have
chats
Death
needs
Battle
just
Tome
they're the
Nighthaunt.
worst.
They're a
I don't
very
mind that
popular,
Nighthaunt
iconic
cover.
faction within
Compared to some of the other things we've
multiple
seen.
realms. They sort of had their place within the second edition
Nah,
of Warhammer
no,
Age of
it's
Sigmar
not
and really
interesting.
Sort of cemented their spot as.
I hate these things where you've got nothing in the
This book
background and it's
is,
just focused on
like,
that one
ram-packed with
thing.
The lore that explains them all, as well as all of the war scrolls and information that you would need. I was talking to an avid Nighthaunt player about this yesterday, who was.
But the Nighthaunt
super
model's quite
excited
nice,
'cause
most
he's
of them.
Sort of in the know enough to know, for example, that their ward saves are improving across the board, and so he's very excited to try those in games.
Yeah, there's some.
Yes, Warcry
significant
was
defensive
heralded
buffs
as
for
the best
Nighthaunt,
Games Workshop
certainly,
game by many,
with this buff.
including
So,
me at the
generally
time.
speaking, you're finding that
I
the
thought
units have a
Warcry
bit
was
more
very,
health,
very
and
good.
the way that
But
their,
as
unity
always,
to rend works
GW
has
just
changed a little
can't
bit. So generally
leave
their
something
normal saves are a
alone,
little
and the
bit
more they
worse.
added
You
to
can
it, the
now
more
bolster them with
convoluted
things
it
like all
got.
out defense, and
Sounds like Underworld.
their ward saves
And
are
like
across the board
Underworld's exactly the
5
same
up
kind
or
of
better.
thing. It just ends up a bit of a mess.
Perfect. But let's get
I
on to
don't
the,
mind that guy.
model,
Don't
which is
really like the
brand
cloud.
new coming out with this release,
I
which is
hate
the Lord
smoke
Vitriolic.
effects on
This is
models.
a very disturbing creature. In life, it was
It's
something
got 4
like
arms.
a
Yeah,
poison
he's still a
or
bit silly.
maker,
He's all right.
Like,
Merchant of
yeah,
some
fake
sorts, yeah.
potions and curatives who deceives people and sort of let them down or
It
let
looks-
them
you could
through.
leave the smoke off
And
if you
Nagash
wanted
is
to, or
able
the wall,
claim
whatever it
his
is,
soul
but-
because of his sort of malpractice.
Yeah,
evil
probably.
deeds,
Like you could with the
and
Dark
has
Angel stuff.
reformed him into this horrific Lord Vitriolic with like backward jointed arms on top of his spine. He's horrible.
It looks like most of
but
these
really
spearheads
fun
are
in
going to
that-
have.
Yeah, so he's got some very
That's very
fun
Warcry
rules. So
unit in
basically,
them.
you can see his rack of potions on his back there, and the way that that manifests in games is you can create specialist potions.
The thing
and
I really
throw
liked
them at
about
enemy units,
Warcry
and you've got 2 options on how you do that.
was
You can either just chuck a bunch of random
it
potions
enabled
at the enemy
GW
and
to
roll
touch a
some
load of
random
stuff
things
that
to
he
see what
wouldn't
happens
normally
them,
get to
or
do.
You can concoct a very
And
specific
that was
potion
cool.
to do a specific job.
Then after a while, it
and the
wasn't
effects of
that.
those can range from things like doing harm to the enemy unit, taking away some of their advantages, all the way through to things like stripping ward saves from enemy units.
Yeah,
So
that one looks.
it's a
particularly appealing.
really good little problem-solving unit. So you can go, right, what enemy am I facing? What I'd really like against this is this specific bonus or this specific debuff to the enemy unit, or just to do some damage. So I think we're going to see a lot of this guy in.
It's all right. It just looks a bit goofy, I suppose.
And as with the Flesh Eater Courts, there is a new spearhead for the Nighthaunt. This is the Cursed Shackle Discord. It's
Are those
just
the easy to
all the
build
ghosts
models?
all the time, right? An absolutely brilliant box loaded with everything you'd want
Not
to
sure.
either kickstart an army, reinforce an army, or play games as
Honestly, they all start to look so similar after a while.
Yeah, it's very
They
cool.
do a little bit.
And obviously a great place to start a new Nighthawk army.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things were cool.
They're cool.
But there's a lot of people here who have been holding onto their hats really patiently.
My wife's got a load of,
hoping that we maybe
Nighthawk
show them
stuff.
something they've never ever.
I have as well.
seen
I've got all the
before.
Mortal Realms
So,
stuff that I did with the
why don't we
magazines.
start with-
It's never done anything with it.
Here comes the Chaos
Ha-
Dwarfs.
What an incredible reveal, Eddie! I know you're super excited.
Didn't really
I
get to
am
see a
very
lot, but
excited. This might be my new Age of Sigmar.
There was a
army.
lot of
These are
armour
the
on the Brazen
Hellsmiths
Bull.
of Hashut. These are effectively the reincarnation of the Chaos Dwarf concept.
You know, I
from Age
really
of
hoped
Sigmar.
this was for
An
Old
entirely
World.
redesigned and brand new army, coming out first in an army set.
You know they love to
alongside its
disappoint
new
you,
battle tome.
especially
The
you.
army set also serves as the spearhead force for
Is that a
the Hellsmiths
shooty
of Hashut.
giant
These
bull?
models are
Yeah, I don't like
phenomenally
that at
cool.
all.
The
That's
rules
horrible.
are great. The lore is great. I love absolutely everything about them. Let's dive into the miniatures.
I think the first thing I
get
want to say
excited.
is let's talk about like why they are these. When the time of chaos happened in the
Thing is, they
Mortal
scale
Realms,
up a lot of the models, but they don't keep the detail level the same, so they're just that kind of looking like action figures or toys. That's the problem with Age of Sigmar.
Not these guys.
You mean they
but
put
not
too much
so
stuff on it?
the Zardron,
No,
the,
they make them
Chaos
big
Duardin,
and then
who
don't
would
make
become
the
known as
details
Hellsmiths
smaller.
of
So look at this, all the
Hashut.
flames and all that
They
kind of stuff. They're all too big.
ancient and
It just
terrible
it doesn't
Duardin
right.
deity, who taught them
Just looks like a fucking
the ways
toy.
of hellsmithing. So,
Excuse my
and
French.
their whole culture is based around Hashut, the Bullfather, and we're going to see that sort of writ large across all of
The
these
infantry
models.
look
Let's dive
kind
into,
of
the
okay,
first thing
but
that
you know, I
appears
really
in the
had hoped
set.
this would be for Old World.
These are the infernal cohort with Hashutite spears. Say that fast.
Hats
as
are
you
too
can.
small.
They are the core unit for the Hellsmiths of Hashut. They are an elite combat unit straight off the bat. These are very dangerous to Arden indeed. And the first thing to observe is those Hashutite spears. Each of them's got like a glowing orb in it. That
Some of them haven't got beards and therefore they're automatically crap.
ground down, reconstituted demon essence, because
Yeah,
that's
so-
how they roll.
So the demon legions that invaded the various Duardin holds during the Age of Chaos.
I'm
some
mixed
of
on
them,
them. I'm not a fan. What do you
preserve
think,
the hold,
guys?
But where
I'm not
the
feeling it.
Hellsmiths of Hashut dwelled, they instead trapped those demon legions and decided to weaponize them into a fuel to power their war machines, their weapons.
I
and their
agree,
technology.
Minimundas.
So
That's
that
what I
green
thought it would
glow,
be,
as
'cause
you say, is
I think they
ground-up
had
demon
finished all
juice
the bases
that
for
is
the Old World,
powering
so I
the
kind of thought
weapons
these would be
of
for
the
that.
Hellsmith.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And if they
things
were,
to
they'd
talk
look
about
better.
within this unit, obviously, you've got like a unit champion. You see, you've got a musician, which is like this weird combination of the bare-chested Duardin and a hobgrot carrying a massive gong on its back, and obviously a standard
massive
bearer.
what on his
It's
back?
a twofer
Massive
kit.
dong?
That's like
Gong.
internalism for this kit makes two different types of unit. And so here you have them with Hashutite blades, basically shorter ways of killing people. They have different profiles within the game.
Yeah, both very
Yeah,
useful.
not feeling the design
Spears generally
on
are your
this.
slightly more defensive thing, so you get bonuses against the enemy that's charging you, against cavalry. The swords are the slightly more offensive option, where you get bonuses for fighting into enemy infantry and taking the fight.
I can see what they're going
But
for with
both
like all the,
effectively
you know,
heavily
the
armoured
rhomboid
elite
shapes and
infantry.
that kind of stuff,
absolutely
but they
so.
just
And
they
you can
don't
paint them in
look.
different colours. The studio team's done a lovely job. The
That
banner
blue
in the
one
middle,
looks the
this is a
opposite of
really
scary.
nod to sort of the Zardron culture, which
Looks
is
like a tiny
ziggurat
pale orc.
in the middle of that banner, right, with the bullfather.
Someone orcs your
ruling
dwarfs.
above. They live in
Yeah,
ziggurat
not-
cities.
not
and each
liking
one
them.
is ruled by a war despot, as if by magic. Here is the war despot.
I thought you planned the whole thing.
This is my favourite model within this.
It's a great
army set.
hat.
It might be
It's a
my,
great hat.
my favourite of the Hellsmiths. It's
You
just
guys
so
remember
good.
the old Chaos Dwarfs? The
Huge
hats are
hat,
tiny in
big spikes.
comparison.
It's carrying an
Yeah.
enormous warglaive, which is glowing.
That was a funny
runes
story.
glowing
I think it might have
with
been
sort of,
Priestley.
eldritch power.
No, it was the
someone-
Perrys and
The war
Ansel, wasn't it?
despots, they have to
Yeah, that was it. No, I meant someone
show
interviewed
off
them,
sort of
but I think you're
right.
right. I think it was the Perrys. Someone interviewed the Perrys, and they said like, yeah, Brian Ansell was away in the States doing something, and he was kind of like, how's the Chaos Dwarf designs coming along? So they faxed them over, and he faxed them back and said the hats are too fucking small. Make the hats bigger. And so like they made the hats bigger and then faxed them back, and they kind of said like, nah, hats are too small, make them bigger. And they were like, fucking serious. Made the hats bigger, faxed him back, and he faxed them back like over the course of like a week, and he was like, dude, the hats are too small, make the hats bigger. And they were like, Jesus Christ.
The whole reason for being,
And then they made them comically big, and surely he'd say no, and he was just like, yeah, perfect, thanks.
They plunder
And a legend
take
was
from the land
born.
and they give nothing back.
One day
They
at
don't
GW
really
Thurrock, we got
destroy
one of
it.
the
They
old
are,
Chaos
like,
Dwarfs with a
cool
rocket
in the
launcher,
extreme because that's how
and
they
we were bored,
in
so we
time
hammered
scale.
it flat. And
They don't
it
see
looked like a
themselves
Chaos
as
Dwarf with a
corrupted
massive
for that.
dong.
That's
No,
an
no,
interesting
there's
kind of sub-
no physical side effects at all to what they've gone through.
An interesting sub point. They see themselves as almost the paragons of purest order, right?
Yeah.
So they've
Not in
taken
the store or
the
anything, you
assault of
understand,
chaos and
outside
they've
in the-
ground it
in the
down
back
and created like order
passages
from chaos
of Lakeside.
But in the mortal realms, they effectively they're paving over the natural order and putting up the monuments to Hashut and the great ziggurats that power their industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Also within this spearhead,
I mean, some of
is
it,
just
I
this
don't like that
incredible
bull at
centerpiece
all.
model,
That's,
the Dominator engine. It's another kit that makes two things. So here you can see the immolation.
Oh, the Melee one's better.
This is a enormous metal
it's a bit better,
creation, which
but
is
you compare
animated
that
and powered
to
by
the
this
ball
demon
miniature they did
energy
for
roiling inside it. Have a
Trench
look at the
Crusade.
sort of brazier in its belly, you can see its
Worlds
demonic
apart.
eyes
This just looks like
peering
an
out
action figure.
as, like the
think they're supposed to be
demonic
worlds
souls
apart,
within a
though,
torch.
I love the
Yeah,
flames
quite
on these
literally.
things.
Power.
That kind of like green into purple fire is
Yeah.
such a beautiful sort of aesthetic. This is both an incredibly cool miniature, which I think I'm looking forward to see what painters do with this, because the heavy metal one is wonderful, but I think once this goes out into the wild and you've got
You're going to see
you know,
incredible interpretation.
yeah, 1,000 painters painting this, it's going to be amazing. I can imagine this in beautiful non-metallics. In game, this thing is an absolute juggernaut, right? So it has
All
a
the influences
2-up
that they send them out to freeform,
armor save, which in Age of
which
Sigmar is
we are
almost
not one of.
unheard of. It has loads of wounds.
Yeah, there's no
really
menace,
hard,
yeah, exactly.
the
It just
combat
doesn't-
version can mulch entire units.
I think they
shooting
forgot the Chaos
version is
Dwarfs are
what you
heavily
want if you
inspired
wanna
by
wade
Babylonian
into the middle of
culture.
an enemy army and
You know,
just
they
set the
probably
whole
wanted to
thing
lean
on
away
fire.
from that, sadly.
Like a lot of the stuff in the Hellsmith's army,
But
that
yeah,
army mechanic allows you to harness a demon power on specific units, so you can bolster the power of it. And on these, it's particularly
Yeah, I really don't like that at all.
And we're still not done. Also within the spearhead, you'll find this. This is the Tormentor Bombard. The Chaos Dwarfs of old, if you cast your mind back, if you're old enough like me, to the world that was, the Chaos Dwarfs were renowned for devastating artillery, particularly that lobbed things far across the battlefield. And that concept has been reimagined for the Mortal Realms with this just beautiful Tormentor Bombard.
It's a shame, man. That was one of the things that I was really looking forward to. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. It's no hell cannon, is it?
Deadly in the game.
Yeah, this is the war machine you use if you're being advanced on by multiple enemy units. So you can fire
No
at a single
dude
enemy
riding
unit,
giant
and
bull
the
or
units
anything
nearby
like that, you
also
know.
take damage.
You
Like,
fire it at a unit, and the units
very
nearby
long
also
range, I
take
think
damage.
it's
That's how
30
devastating it
inches,
is.
which,
What,
again,
like a
is
blast
very-
template?
It's very good in Age of Sigmar. I think the Hellsmiths of
Such a
Hashut,
shame.
between this and some of their other units, have claim to being one of the most devastating shooting armies in the Mortal Realms.
Well, let's talk a bit more about that, because I think we have the Death Shrieker rocket battery. Brilliant. for
See,
just,
again,
like,
that
blowing
it
up
kind of
the
looks better,
enemy's
but it's
big,
also, it's all
impressive things, right?
Yeah,
it's
so this is
so
a monster killer, right? So where your
over-designed
other war
and
machine is the thing to take
overdone.
out
It
blocks
just
of
doesn't
enemy
have the
infantry
natural
and
skill
kind of
the old
mass
sculptors used to
formation.
have.
This is they have one
my
big monster
grognard
that
opinion.
want to be dead. You can fire this at them.
Just
and
it kind of feels
this,
soulless.
With a fair, with decent rolls, will take out a monster in a single volley.
They're like
Firing,
attention-seeking models.
Essentially, a demon energy imbued bolt the size of 2 Dwarden.
I mean, not the ones you go on Instagram,
Yeah.
but I've heard about.
This launch set also includes a battle tome. It also includes all of the War Scroll cards that you would want to have with your collection. It's the perfect jumping on point for an all-new Hellsmiths of Hashut army.
But that's not it.
But that's not it.
There's more.
Why don't we show you some more?
Should be careful what I ask for, shouldn't I?
Really should.
Round 2, guys. Oh no, that's it.
If the launch box wasn't awesome enough, they will be followed shortly thereafter with all of those incredible models that you just saw.
That mounted guy looks pretty impressive.
Rounding out the force into a really
It's a bit angular.
impressive Warhammer Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah, immediately
Yeah,
out of the gate, you have almost a full army offer
Centaurs.
basically of stuff, and we start off with one of the classic units of Warhammer returning. Bull Centaurs have been part of Warhammer for I think almost 35 years, something like that.
I remember being
The old
charged
ones were
by
so
the- when I
great.
was,
These are
like,
just a mess.
13 or
In their
14.
classic red with green bases back in
A lot going on.
Day. But this is
Like, look at the top half of
this
that
is a
middle
heavy
model, and they
cavalry
literally
unit.
can't work out what's
They
going on with
are
it at
basically
all.
the experts at riding down enemy forces.
Yeah, the old Hell
Pushing
Cannon was
them under their
amazing.
hooves. They hit very hard. They're well armored. These are the sort of manifestation of the power of Hashut
absolutely.
in kind of form. The Duardin here have kind of warped to be more alike to their.
Lots of people complaining about the
ancient
focus on Age of
ancestors.
Sigmar. It is the 10th
absolutely.
anniversary,
You said
guys.
a thing to me earlier that I thought was really striking, which is Hashut's whole thing is like trampling the mortal realms underfoot.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
He's
some of it might be the colour schemes that,
Dwarven
you know,
gods sort of
the heavy metal
inherited
team have
a different
chosen,
realm
the
and
way
he's
the
just
colours
stuck with the
complement
realm
each
of
other.
So there's loads of really great lore in the new battle tome, and one of the things that comes
I'm
out
not
is
that
the
much of a
idea
fan,
that,
I'm really
there
not.
were the ancestor gods of the Duardin, and Hashut was almost like one of them, right? He was like one of the pantheon, and he was given the realm of beasts, and he sort of felt that was almost like an insult, right? Like, I don't want the realm of beasts. So rather than trying to kind of be harmonious with it, he decided to just trample it flat. So all of his incarnation of beast power is in the form of trampling, in the form of kind of harnessing and subjugating nature.
Yeah, so let's look at the another sort of variation that this kit enables you to make, which are the Anointed Sentinels.
Yeah, Forge
Those
World
are
did
quite
great,
the most
great models.
devoted towards Hashut of the Hellsmiths.
They're a bit better.
They guard his holy places, whatever a holy place for the Bull Father Hashut might look like. So they're much more defensive than the other Bull Centaurs, although by no means a passive unit. They're just really great at
But then the
counterpunching.
first ones are like
And when you
Chaos
consider how
Dwarfs
much of
on
the
top of
force might be
horse
standing back and
bodies or
raining death on the
cow
enemy,
bodies,
very
and then these are
useful in their
cows on
right.
top of.
You also get like a little interesting
Oh,
nod
it just
to
doesn't make any
Hashut
sense. But these are a
culture.
bit better, I suppose.
I'm not sure if these guys are just wearing helmets or if they've just got
love
magic
those.
heads
They're-
that
they're
got horns
might
on
be
them.
my favourite
Yeah, who knows?
You know,
this particular-
like bulls.
They also key into that
Who
sort of
knows?
classic imagery that we're used to from before, as does the next unit. He says seamlessly segueing
Oh,
in,
Skaven Dwarfs.
We'll see. So here's some variations, but we have the Infernal Razors. Now, these have got
Yeah, it's
blunderbusses.
Not working for me, chaps. Let me know what you think.
Long enough in the beard, you might remember Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses.
Thanks for joining
from
us.
the
It is
year.
appreciated.
like terror of
Yeah.
Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition, I think.
Yeah, it was diabolical. And these are a very dangerous shooting unit in their own right. Again, they're harnessing that sort of demonic power to operate their weapons. There's no gunpowder necessary here. And the kit makes two options. So you have those and you have the flame hurlers, which, I mean, they hurl.
It's
flames,
weird. These,
not
these
much
models look
concentration
like the kind of thing I would
required.
expect to
two
find
really
in
powerful units.
an
The
Age of Sigmar
blunderbusses,
starter set.
Not much to choose between them, really. They both do a great job. The blunderbusses have got a little bit more range on them. The flame hurlers can fire while you're in combat, which is really handy. So even if the enemy manages to reach you,
I mean,
you
that
can still sort
guy
of set them on
or
fire.
girl,
But the thing that really makes them is that
the fourth
through the
one along
army's
isn't even looking where they're
rule
firing.
mechanic, You can power them up.
Must be
and power
Instagram.
the demonic energy inside the guns,
Yeah.
which basically increases the
Distracted.
rend on the
Someone's
guns.
waving like a
You can
chicken
get things
drumstick
up to
around or
rend
something.
3, doing multiple damage, which is absolutely horrific.
I'm just not
So
getting any
if the enemy is, like,
intimidation or
charging
real
your, you know,
anything
So-
like
big
that.
unit of infernal razors,
Someone in
you
the
get,
chat
like,
said that
decent damage
OMG,
shooting
dwarfs
against
without
you. You can
beards.
wipe out
Congratulations,
things
you're
like
getting
heavy
worse and
cavalry,
worse.
Units of armored infantry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They are very,
Just
very
assume one's
good.
about
I
beards,
imagine.
you know.
Well, I
Women.
imagine.
Everything we should
I imagine
do
they're the
is
lady
elite
Chaos
and,
Dwarfs.
high value.
Yeah.
Get ready for the other end of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spectrum.
exactly.
Yeah.
But what if you want some chaff to hurl
Hobgrots?
under the, you know, the
Yeah,
wheels of the enemy?
Hobgoblins
so to
was
speak?
always
Good
a
news.
part of
there
the
is
Chaos
a genial
Dwarf army.
relationship between the Hellsmiths of
And they've
Hashut
kept the orange
and the
colour.
Hobgrots, who sort of bolster their ranks. Hobgrots are also really into doing awful things.
They're a
and
bit better.
Desecrating
They're a
the
little bit
world.
better.
And so they exist as almost like a vassal state within the Zardron culture. In exchange for better weapons than they could like forage for themselves, they get to join the army and whack stuff. They fill a really interesting niche in that they are faster than the Hellsmiths and they can scout, right?
They absolutely can. So the way these guys are going to fit into your army, most of your force is going to be very good at shooting, but relatively slow. So you're going to be moving on to the objectives late game. But
Yeah,
these
they're a bit
kind of
nicer.
scouts, as you say,
Bit
so you
nicer.
can kind of push them forward early in the game, grab those objectives, just get under the feet of enemy units. They will absolutely be used for things like trying to take
More
a charge
simple,
from
but less
something
going
so you
on.
can set all your other units up for an amazing round of shooting, or to charge them with bull centaurs or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you will absolutely want some of these in your
People over
force.
40 will be happy.
We've obviously seen
No.
Hobgrots before in the kind of Cruel Boys force, but these are armoured and equipped by the Hellsmiths themselves, so they've got slightly better armour. Maybe
Judge, you
None-
can't
none
say
of
that.
sort
It's
of,
prisoners with
old
jobs.
Power in the weapons, though, not for these.
Prisoners.
Oh no, they don't get to play.
There's
the
Sardaukar. Wow, that's really going
So-
back.
Let's look at some of the extra sort of heroes that join the faction. This is the Demon Smith. They are the ones who do the hellsmithing, I suppose it's fair to say.
Gul'dan.
And you can see in this model,
I'm
there's
not the
some
only one who's
real
thought
sort of
that.
hints as to who he is. Obviously a wizard. He's got that demonic power sort of coming out of his hand. He's got his tome, looks like it's sort of etched in. I don't know what
like
stone that is.
obsidian jade.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
Like that, isn't it?
With like vile runes. I think. he's
Yeah, just not a
lexically
fan of the
animated.
design language on this one.
In a nutshell, they
How
are.
good is that paint scheme though?
It's
Whoever painted that in the heavy metal team, well done.
Yeah.
Well done,
it's,
guys.
It's just stunning. They fill a particular function because they're the ones that enable all of the sort of the hellsmithing.
Yeah,
to
they
take place.
allow
It's
the-
quite
the
nicely
kind of
painted,
army
but I
to
just wonder
work.
what was wrong with the
In game
red.
terms,
I don't know if
they
it
do
look
a
any
particularly
better,
useful
but
thing, as well as being a wizard, which is
the
obviously
red
great.
and the bronze,
They
I guess,
can
might
heal
make them
your
look too
war
close to the
machines as
corn
well. So
guys
if
that
you've
they're
got any
releasing
of
right
those
now.
Big infernal
Maybe.
engines, or
Maybe
you've got
it's-
any of your cannons that have been damaged, they can.
Because
kind
they've
of
even
go
brought back
over
the
and
guys from the
put
first
power back into them, sort of thing.
Age of Sigmar box, and
This
they're releasing
kit
those
has another
cheap.
option in it. It also makes an Ashen Elder. We showed you the anointed centaurs, who are the ones who guard the holy sites. This is the person doing the rituals inside the holy
But
sites.
again, it's like we can't just
and you can
make a
see the
hammer. We have to make a hammer with this bit on it and then a
starting to
crystal on
happen
the
to
end and
skin.
everything. It's
The
like-
older a hellsmith gets,
It's like overly
It's
stylized.
just, yeah, it's
more
over the
the-
top, man.
they
It's just
start to
not
become
needed.
like stone, their skin cracks. If they're very powerful, if they have the right magics available,
You
to
can hold it
them,
at
they
bay
can-
a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe.
But
You know, we
doing
need
this
to have
upon-
loads of crap
there's a
coming
couple
out
of
of the
really
staff
interesting
as
things. I
well
like his
because
staff. I'm just
reasons.
gonna
And I'm just like,
eulogise about how beautiful it
course
is.
they
that
can.
Smoke makes it look like a beard. But you had a fascinating fact about the hammer.
Yeah,
It's a
so
slightly
there's
better
lots
model.
of
He's got
things that are really
better
fun about
beard
this
thing
bit
going
mentioned,
on.
but, if we go for hammer particularly, there's not a lot of hammers in the Hellsmiths of the Hashut, and one of the reasons is that hammers are actually seen as a slightly profane symbol to the Hellsmiths because they remind them of the other dwarven ancestor gods, which really like hammers. But this particular hammer is blessed in the blood of other Duardin priests. So he would have like found a runesmith or something, or one of the Caradron priests or something,
Yeah.
and then slain them in a sacrifice and
I
blessed.
do think that is a
the hammer
slightly
in
better
their
model,
blood.
though. It's not quite so
that's
over the top.
That's why he's the one with the hammer when no other
So
Hellsmiths
if
seem
you're
to
a
have them.
Fire Slayer player, a Caradron Overlord
Oh, they hate
player,
this guy.
like,
Yeah.
pick on this guy the
Oh,
most, right?
the Caradrons and the Fire Slayers really do not get on with the Hellsmiths. Like there is a lot. They've got beef, basically.
Yeah,
with
absolutely
the-
so. There's also another character we should talk about. This is Urak
look
Tar.
at that.
He's the first demon smith. Back in that ancient time,
Quite like that.
when the Hellsmiths
No.
needed to learn to survive, he learned the secrets of this demon smithing from Hashut. He is truly ancient and abominably powerful. You can see how
I
that
presume there's another
manifests,
build, but
the petrification
yeah,
on the back,
it's
like
not for me.
deep trenches of like rock starting to form out of his flesh, horns erupting from his skull. He's mounted on an enormous infernal, my brain's just gone blank, infernal Taurus, just centerpiece written all over him, incredible spot within the lore.
Good opportunity for people to do
wonderful.
non-metal metal,
Very,
though.
very cool miniature. It's a 2-for-1 kit as well, which is
Yeah.
really cool. It also makes your Demon Smith on Infernal Taurus. There's a bunch of options on this kit as well, which is
Oh, there it
amazing.
is,
So
yeah.
I can't wait to see what painters do with this kit particularly because
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
just asking for a beautiful color scheme. You can imagine this in like beautiful non-metallics or metallics or glowing runes or
the glowing-
kind of petrified rock.
It
or
just looks so
something else.
kind
But,
of plasticky
Again, that kind
and-
of manifestation of Hashut as
I don't know, man.
never deciding to use the natural materials, right? It's always going to be industrial in some way or made out of iron or metal or stone or
Yeah,
something like
and
that.
the only wood on the base is like burned,
Burnt
through
to
it.
cinder.
Again, there's loads of
You can
smoke
imagine
coming out of
walking
the
through a
bull's
forest
head and
of
stuff,
just
and I'm
like
just like,
that.
Yeah, should
nah, I'm
we
all
take
right,
a look
thanks.
at some of the models in the flesh?
Yeah, one of them
Here
does,
in
one
the
of them
room with
doesn't.
us,
So
you can give
again,
us
that's
a-
not one they've made up.
I've got a little lineup.
Yeah, look at this. It's looking good. Here is my personal favourite. You have the War Despot. You can see he's a very
been very
chunky
stunty
looking,
focused so
dwarf.
far,
And if
hasn't
I
it?
stick this infernal
Isn't it?
laser next to him, you get a sense of. Sorry, I'm just making your life harder with the camera there. Perfect. You can see like bigger in stature, more powerful. Moving along, you have the Demon Smith and the Ashen Elder. teeny tiny little hobgrot on the end
Oh
of the
wow, they're
line.
tiny.
Really quite sort of scrawny.
Bloody hell.
Perfect for subverting to your will and getting
The
through your
same,
daily work.
just for kind of scale purposes, that's the same size more or less as the hobgrots that currently exist in the Cruel Boys range, so you get an idea of the size. Much larger. We have the bull centaur there, so you can see that the power of Hashut sort of coursing through that guy. This is a fairly large cavalry miniature there. It's like on a scale with some of the kind of, I guess like Agrodon sort of size, that kind of...
He's big to say the least. But not as big as, terrible segue, here we go, just...
Even beefier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
this is such a cool model. I think you can have a few of these in your army as well.
Not for me. Some people might like it.
Heads and things. So I certainly expect to see a few of these making their way into the army.
let's bring in at least one of the artillery.
Yeah, let's get one of those in.
And
Right,
then we'll get to the main event. So if I squeeze some of these guys out.
No minority pink stripe. Maybe the Chaos Dwarfs aren't big on
Everybody will be complaining.
representation and diversity.
There we go. So you can see the two war machines.
Again, these have got like really lovely little dioramas on the back. So you've got multiple characters sort of with different roles across the artillery piece, like
absolutely
funneling the demonic power into the engine or stoking the furnace and that sort of thing. A little bit like the Leagues of Votan artillery we saw before. These are just like wonderful little pieces in the row.
I am ready to move on from the Chaos Dwarfs now.
Yeah, he's the big guy. Here he is.
Round this all out.
So, I mean, this is it's a fairly big model.
Towers above even the Dominator engine.
It did look a lot bigger in the pictures, didn't it?
It did.
Just exceptional. There'll be loads more pictures of this on warhammercommunity.com, and you can see it all in more detail. There's probably some bits and pieces of information that we left out. We need to.
I think we should get smaller and go with Legions Imperialis now, and then get bigger and go with Heresy.
I'm aware that
well, I mean, yeah, if you're going to go smaller,
always mention Warcry. Hopefully, everyone will shut up now.
And whether or not Warcry is relevant here. The Warhammer Studio team are going to publish rules for using Hellsmiths of Hashut.
So they're going to get Warcry rules
when they release.
Yep.
So keep your eyes peeled on the Warhammer community website.
that'll probably be it for Warcry now, though.
To try out some of the Hellsmith models in Warcry in your games.
Yeah, so not only will there be a full new army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, they will also feature as an entire new faction in Warcry as well.
Yeah,
and also...
Yes, it would be nice if we segued seamlessly into the Warhammer Underworlds. So welcome to Spitewood. This is an expansion.
Oh look,
for
you've got some more of
Warhammer
your
Underworlds.
Kurnoff Hunter things.
It's
that's what I was about to say.
The scene is essentially you're in
Actually,
the
look at the same
Spitewood.
models.
You have a
Oh, no,
Hellsmith
the shield's
Hashut,
different.
warband fighting
It's an
against
expansion
Kenosi.
set, so you probably need
So
the original.
it really is industry versus nature.
Oh no, I'm going to be out of luck.
There's a strong rivalry in the Mortal Realms between the Hellsmiths, who are all about, like, as we say, trampling nature underfoot, and the Sylvaneth, who are all about protecting nature, and the Kenothi are a particularly kind of warlike
they are new
aspect
Kenothi,
of
aren't
that,
they?
following the kind of absent hunter god.
They look better than the old
Kurnoth.
ones.
So they will
I
defend
really
the wider
liked the
places
old
of
ones.
Mortal Realms.
I was kind of hoping they'd expand them out into a full
Warbands,
faction, and I
this
was
is an expansion,
seriously
as we
considering
say,
starting that, but they
Paul
never did.
Endergaard.
They're better. They're a
And you
bit
have
less
the
deer-like, maybe. I
Hellsmiths,
don't know.
You have the Kenothi. The Blood of the Bull is the Hellsmiths unit. Bottom left-hand corner, you have a War Despot. Her army advancing into the Spitewood has suffered a strategic reversal, so she's regrouped with her sort of remaining warriors.
There you go. There's your diversity.
And she's waiting on reinforcements before she can raise the place to the ground. So she's
Lady Chaos Dwarf.
contesting it, obviously, against the other warband.
Yeah, and you've got some great archetypes in the mix there as well. I particularly like the Hobgrot.
He deserves a call out, doesn't he?
does,
I can tell she's a lady because she's got her arms
if you've
covered
been
up.
playing Warhammer for a very long time, you may remember Hobgoblins from Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and there was a unit called Throat
it's just
Cutters,
also
I think it was, or
so,
Throat
yeah.
Slitters.
Generic, man.
He is basically a homage to those
It's
as
really
well, which
lovely.
is really lovely to see.
Yeah, they've got their rules. reflect
Chris
that
was
sort
like,
of,
who was asking for
thunder
female
thing that you
Chaos
want
Dwarfs? Jesus.
Just to make the landscape, just for the joy of it.
Not sure Jesus was.
The other warband in this set is, he says, well, there we go. Kurnoth's Herald.
Nice. I'm not
Yeah,
sure about
nice.
I'm not sure about the bejeweled belly buttons, but
kit.
nice.
They make these Kenothi. The thing to point out with them
Bit
in
green
terms
stuff,
of like, their
sorted.
rules and how they play is that they're very defensive.
Again, so unnecessary.
Because they're holding what they've got. They're not interested in stealing other people's stuff. They just want to protect their woods. And so while they're in their own area of the board, if you're an Underworlds player, you'll be familiar with the sort of mechanic. they're better. So they're better at defending their own
So
objectives.
it's quite an interesting warband then, because they're quite a fast warband, and usually you expect that to be quite aggressive.
Yeah.
But your bonuses are for
Oh, it's
defense.
just the centaur
so
guys. Okay.
redeploying, fighting in different areas in
Yeah,
your own area, and just
I love these miniatures. I think we've seen
Yeah, they're not
Kanofi
bad.
in Underworlds before, and this is a kind of.
They've got
Yeah,
some
well,
nice design
I think
cues
this is a
from the.
phenomenal looking warband.
I looked at them too long, and I'm really disturbed.
Can't remember the name of the person in Cursed City
You
was.
said
that
that you don't like
was
the
but-
glowing
Yeah,
belly
it's
button.
something about it, man.
I dig it. I'm here for glowing belly buttons.
So there we
Sorry
go.
for English. I'm interdimensional fox
awesome
from
stuff
Canada
also
French,
for
though.
Warhammer
That's all right. We don't
Underworld.
judge, dude.
What an
It's all right.
awesome
It's-
We'll do
set
that.
of releases
We'll do
for,
that. It's all
Warhammer
right.
Age of Sigmar.
Not a
And
problem.
10
Fox-
years.
all foxes
That's
are
a really
welcome,
fair point.
Indeed.
even the one that followed me
10
home when I
years
was a teenager.
ago this month,
You know what? That's one thing I don't see
we
here in Nottingham.
saw
Not used to
the
see in Essex all the
arrival
time.
of the Mortal
Foxes.
Realms
Me
of
getting
Warhammer.
followed by foxes.
You're getting followed by
Sort of
foxes, yeah.
showing over
I'm not
the
there.
coming year a whole bunch of interesting things to do with the Mortal Realms. So if you enjoy Warhammer Age of Sigmar, you're in for a good time.
Yeah. It's taken the Hellsmiths a long time to get here, isn't it?
Yeah, it
But
was
then they
worth
are.
it.
Oh,
really
that's a
moving
dad joke. I
forward.
can
So-
appreciate that.
Respectably reminded us that there is in fact 5 more things to
Oh,
talk
there's
about.
more.
Yes.
And we're already getting the
Get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. Get on
there
with it.
are 4
been an
more
hour.
boxes coming for Warhammer Underworlds. Each box contains 4 warbands. Each box also synergizes with a particular faction. So this is the Order one, the Seekers in Shadow, and it contains 4 warbands from the Order faction, Grand Alliance, I should say. This is the Death one. These are the Reavers of Ruin, the Chaos warbands, and we've saved my favourite to last because I'm allowed to. The Gits and Goliath, the Destruction warbands. Each, anybody who plays Warhammer Underworlds will know, each Warhammer Underworlds warband is lovely, right? They're just characterful.
I think Kirsty's got
homed for
3
different
of
parts
those. I don't think she's got the
Mortal Realm
Trapper,
setting.
but she's got the
and you get
I
4
got
in a
her the
box. It's just
Loon
it's
Spotted
delightful.
Dudes and the Troll.
To play with them, you would
I think
need
she's got
to
the
pick up
Wolfies.
this, which is the Warbands of Spitewood. Contains all the cards and everything that you want.
Warhammer
Whether you
Underworlds
fancy
really
playing
annoyed
them
me
in
that they took
Warhammer
all
Underworlds,
the decks out of
seamlessly
the
integrating
models
with
and
their
didn't make the
Warscroll
models
cards
cheaper. I
into,
was like, you
Warhammer
pricks.
Age of Sigmar, or
You
just
absolute
explore
pricks.
different hobby experiences. There's 16 opportunities in 4
But
boxes.
there are every one of those boxes is all killer, no
Oh,
filler.
that and the
There's
fact they got rid of all the
beautiful
artwork.
miniatures in there, including.
What are we
the-
waiting
Yeah.
for? Something exciting. Yeah, just about anything
So,
really.
I think we
40k?
actually are at the end of
Horus
the
Heresy?
We are-
Legions
we are-
Imperialis?
It would be,
We're
it would
still
be a good
waiting
time to
for
check in on
Heresy,
questions.
Kill Team, and Legions Imperialis.
Oh, and Black
Yeah,
Library,
there's loads.
because they put that on
People
there
are
as well.
very, very excited to hear about the Hellsmiths
no, they didn't.
joining Warcry. That'd be
They
really
did.
cool.
They added it later.
I'm really pleased because
No, well, I'm looking at the one they put up online.
Yeah.
On that day,
Of
it's
course,
not on
the
there.
range is stunning.
On
so
what
people
day?
are super pumped about that.
When they first posted
There's
it.
a bit of
Yeah,
news
yeah,
about
they
the
updated it.
Grand Alliance that they come from. So presumably they come from the Chaos Grand Alliance.
But like,
So how do
they said they were going to be done in an hour and a half, and that does not look
sorry, I
like
can
it.
take that one. So the Hellsmiths of Hashut have a slightly interesting relationship with several factions in the Mortal Realms. They are definitely in the Chaos Grand Alliance. So despite what they themselves believe, they probably are corrupted by Chaos at least a little bit.
You don't get to play with that much demon power.
No,
and
I mean
not
you have tusks growing out of your face and
Yeah,
horns growing out.
Grayscale
turning to
dwarfs.
stone.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
something's got a
Turning
little
to
bit
stone, you
demonic
say?
there. But they would consider themselves as kind of champions of order, but they are in the Chaos Grand Alliance. They also trade with the various forces of Chaos, so perhaps Chaos warlords and things would go to their
It's a kill
ziggurats
team
and,
as well, didn't they?
be
So there's quite a lot
served with,
left to
like,
cover.
weapons that they forged in exchange for
I
bounty.
Yeah.
forgot all about Eli and
the
had 3
realms.
boxes of it.
They also have a
It was
a
nice to get
symbiotic
Legion
relationship
Imperialis.
with the Hobgrots, and have traded with like the Cruel Boys and things like that. But they are Chaos Grand Alliance.
Nice. So how does Hashut fit in with the Chaos Pantheon? Does it want
Really,
to become one?
really badly.
Yeah, it does not play well with others as a recurring theme.
I cannot
He is
believe that you
part
need
of
to
the
pad
pantheon
this
of
for
the Dwarven
time.
gods,
Maybe we
right?
should get on with
But,
the next review. We've had like
he
half
feels
an hour
ostracised.
on Chaos
They
Dwarves.
understand we want to
Come on.
ostracize him. So the Hellsmiths kind of vilely resent the other Dwarven gods. It's a very fractious relationship, which is why there's such vitriol between them.
I read
Great
that
questions.
Warhammer is
Thank you very
racist and
much.
compared to Donald Trump.
We need to go.
Donald Trump is
to our
nothing
next
compared to
setting,
Warhammer.
which
Warhammer's
we will
like
do by
50,
moving to
whoosh,
the
50
timeline of the Horus
times
Heresy.
more.
Let's do it.
Silence, it's Legions.
There are a
And we've got
multitude
whirlwinds.
of great releases coming.
So we do.
If you play Legions Imperialis, it's all tanks. So if you're a
So many
treadhead,
tanks.
settle
So
in,
many tanks.
and we'll take you on a tour. Several boxes of fantastic plastic kits.
I suspect
that
we'll see
make some
Vindicators
really
as well.
Interesting additions to your army. On screen now, you can see the Whirlwind and Scorpius set. It's 8
They're nice.
of those, 4 of each. And so if you want to just
Eight.
raise
About
them
damn
from the
time.
enemy,
8 for 30 quid's
blow
not too
them out of
bad.
their cover,
No. There's the
really
Vindicators, I knew
a
it.
Wonderful way to do it. Built on that famous Rhino chassis, as is the Vindicator Siege Tank Squadron. Essentially, what's the biggest gun you can stick on a Rhino? Oh, it appears to be a gun with a breech
What
big
if
enough
I
to
want?
stuff a
I
whole
want an
Space
even
Marine in
bigger
it.
gun, though, Adam. I want a bigger gun.
You want to do a
Typhons.
heavier
I want a
siege than
heavier
that.
siege gun than that.
Well, I've got some very good news
Oh, that's
for
it.
you.
That's exactly it.
The
Finally,
Type 1 heavy siege
super
tank
heavies
squadron
for
is
Marines.
on the way. It's even bigger and more dangerous than the Vindicator. And you get like a nice guy with a flamer just warming things up and making sure.
They
that
finally
everything
caught up to the
goes
3D
according
printers that have had all this stuff available for
By the time
ages.
you've been shot by that
I like
siege gun,
to
how
imagine-
much of a flamethrower do you really
Yeah,
have?
but I think
Just,
GW do a better job.
baking off what's left.
And
you
rules.
drive
Yeah,
through and like, you're getting some and you're getting some. So if you want to blow things up from further away,
Good Lord.
maybe there's a Titan squadron that offends you, then you could do a lot worse than the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer Squadron. These are firing turbo lasers. That guy is offering you a fist bump. It is a wonderful time to be driving tanks over the enemy.
Yeah, some debate in the office as to whether it's a heavy tank destroyer or a heavy tank destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. We've had some debate
Let us
on
know
that.
in the chat which one you think it is.
Do you think it's a heavy tank for destroying or a tank for destroying heavy things?
Oh, Mastodons.
Answers in the
Possibly
chat.
both. Possibly both.
The heaviest of all of the tanks. It's so heavy. It's
I wonder if we see those in
super heavy,
Heresy
is the
eventually, 'cause
Mastodon
scale
assault
'em up.
transport. What if
Yeah,
you want to
they
just
got
back
rules.
Space Marines into a tank, drive it across the battle?
They're not gone
open
anywhere.
your
And they're
gate,
sold out on the
charge
site
in
as
a
well.
Stronghold, having leveled the walls with
Somehow,
a
they're like a
arrow,
grand, I think.
Then this is the way for
Yeah,
you
they're a
to
lot of
do
money, so they probably
It's
haven't
even got its
bothered
own
making it for a
anti-aircraft
while.
system on the top, and the pilot of that is offering you a crisp fist bump as well. I imagine he gets on
Yeah.
great with the other guy.
It's sort of a 30,000 equivalent of a siege tower, isn't it?
I
That's
love
the
it.
kind of vibe.
The design on this, we've seen
Looks
this
like
at
they changed the design
standard Warhammer
slightly.
40,000 scale. It's beautiful.
Maybe.
It's
I'm not
still
familiar.
beautiful at small scale.
I don't
you
remember
think in the
the
chat,
original
guys?
one having. I don't remember
so
the original one having that bit
those
out of the
kits-
middle.
No.
bottom
like
there.
loads and loads of tanks, the tread heads.
think they've
the joists,
changed it.
All of the rules for
Oh.
those, in fact, all of the rules for all of the units in the
Oh, it's
Legion
just a
Imperialis
compendium.
can be found in Liber Strategia. Essentially, a thing that combines all of the rules and puts them in one place. If you've got a copy of the core rulebook and got a copy of this, you are ready to rock and roll.
It's nice to
along
see a
with
book that hasn't got
whole
a
bunch of
Saturn
other
on the front.
rules content.
Yep.
There's too much to go into here and now, but have a look in the article that's going to be on
Quite
Warhammer
nice.
Community.
Nice
and
little
we'll talk more
compendium.
about it closer to the
Oh,
launch.
nice. Mockers as well.
What if you really like the letters A through F and you want
love
to
Those
mark
really
against
have been
and
available in
or
3D
token
printing
effects,
forever.
We're
Yeah.
releasing a really just useful set of token markers for you to use in your games. I find these sort of things very useful for reminding me what
There's
effects
new
are going on in
cards.
the game.
Different.
And then there's all the formation and data sheets you need for your.
Well, it's nice to see them supporting
Imperialis
Legion
games.
Imperialis properly.
The team
I
was
did think we might get
saying
another
a
faction
really
by now,
just done a
but
cracking job.
Yeah.
of
Actually, my
making
bad.
sure
The
that,
the Mastodon's
like,
only
the rules are accessible, you can
£411.
get hold of them.
Was that all?
It's
It was
really
the
fun time.
yeah, it was the
Very
SoCal
Kind of
Stormbird
compile
that
a lot
was
of stuff
that's
together
also
in a
sold out.
convenient,
It was grand.
way of
I've got a
approaching
good
it.
friend who's super into it, and he was asking me about like how he gets all of his rules together. And I just had to sit there quietly, knowing that this was around the corner.
Wouldn't that be great if they're all in one book?
Your prayers have been answered. There's more stuff set within the Age of Darkness. We teased these
Assault Squads.
in the Saturnine preview, but we have the Mark II Assault
Yep,
Squad.
love 'em.
I think we showed one before.
Double 'em
Yeah,
up, three
I
destroyers.
absolutely love these. So this is the new Mark II Assault Marines. Mark II is kind of one of the more brutal looking of the various different Space Marine armor marks, and these guys have ramped that up even further. You've got some options in this kit for a variety of different weapon options. The coolest of them is the chain axe, which is an optional free upgrade to the chainsaw.
Yeah,
that
look cool.
comes
Like
normally
those.
with your
I
assault.
I wonder if they'll
Yeah,
double build
so
it with
this kit's
destroyers.
loaded with chain axes. It even has heavier chain axes for extra clout. Think of them as.
suppose you'd only
slightly
need
slower
the
than chain
alternate
axes, but they have
pistol
a-
hands, wouldn't you?
like a more
Chainswords.
dangerous-
Yeah.
sorry,
But then they wouldn't be able
chainswords,
to sell you an
they have a
alternate
dangerous
box.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are points free alternative. So if you buy these, it's just a straight points, no points involved, just a straight. kick
Nice
swap.
poses though.
If
All
you're
looks nice.
dying to have that classic
Not on
chainsaw
stupid
loadout,
flying bases or
then this
anything
would
like
be
that.
nice
That's all
because you can
nice.
Swap the arms with
Yeah.
the ones that are on the Mark 6 Assault Marines.
And look,
Or
you can tell it's
just,
30k
get them
because
from
there's
the upgrade
actual
kit.
faces.
But I think compliance has never looked better than it does
Yeah,
with
but
a chain axe.
There's some great different options in
Shield
there.
That's a
You've
nice-
got a couple of
that's a
heavy
nice
chain
combat
axes too,
shield.
which is another upgrade you can put onto some of the models. The Sergeant's
Nice.
got the option for
Yeah,
some
I like
pistols
those.
and close combat weapons. And as you can
Hey,
see
there's
with the
Bane.
Salamander on the screen there as well, you can also equip them with combat shields. So loads of different things you can choose to mix them in with.
Oh, yeah,
I would
that's nice
imagine
from
We're
Mark
also going
II.
to see some of these.
Which is something I never thought I'd ever
converted
say.
with all the different Space Marine kits. One of the lovely things about the Horus Heresy is that so many of the kits are really interchangeable with each other.
Yes,
so
I like
you can
those.
take bits and heads
Nice
and
to see the
eyes
rest of them.
and stuff and
Yep.
recreate it.
I really like the breastplate on these, that high gorget looks fantastic. They're just fantastic looking models. Well done them. There's more coming as well. We previewed the Journal Tactical, which is available to order right now. In fact, all of Saturn.
I haven't even shown the second part of Istvan yet.
There's a new Journal Tactical on the horizon. It's called The Forges of Saturn, and this is really all about.
I don't really care about
Holman's
Holman's
gift
gift.
to his brothers.
I don't like the
in
Saturnine stuff that
project.
much.
And so it focuses very heavily on all of those.
Seems a bit
suits of
unnecessary.
armor, that we've seen in the Saturnine box.
Yeah, there's loads
Oh,
of
here
great
comes
options
the
in this book,
heresy comments.
particularly allowing you to do more stuff with your Saturnine miniatures.
That's
So,
stupid. How does he get
there
into a
are
tank?
Different, basically, things that you can do.
I'm
to
assuming
Saturnine
it just
miniatures
comes off.
using other kits, mixing kits
It's like
together to
telescopic.
create new units. So this is a really great
Oh, no,
example
to be fair,
of
they're Saturnine, so
Saturnine
they can
command
teleport.
squads. And what you've got here is a unit that's taken bits from the
not
command
into- not
front
into low
squad
buildings, though.
crews, and also some spare bits.
Well,
from
yeah,
who
so many
built
books. It's
a,
their DLC.
Saturnine Praetor with his axe. You get the hammer spare. You can now give it to characters in your Saturnine command squad.
That
and
is a
basically
big
make
hammer.
them into a champion. The other option that you can have inside this is to make one of your Saturnine Terminators into a Saturnine Centurion. That's the Thousand Suns guy on the far
what?
left
I'm getting
there.
so confused.
Saturnine Centurion
What?
means that you could now have like 2 tiers of Saturnine
Centurion?
commander. you
Isn't
can
that
have in
different
your
weapons
army,
on the Dreadnought
and
as well?
effectively unlocks the ability to have
One
an
of them is.
entire
The first one is.
Saturnine-styled
The other
army
one's
if
like
you
a
wanted
twin
to.
heavy
Yeah, one of the
disintegrator.
topics that's handled inside this Journal Tactica is the way
Actually,
you've
no.
embraced
It's the
Saturnine
same plasma
armor.
weapon. I
Obviously,
suspect it's
you
just
use
got a
its full
different
requirement
muzzle that's
to be
opened up
to
instead.
some extent
Right.
scientifically sensitive. That really plays into the hands of the
They
Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns love it. It's their favourite.
But there's all sorts of things, not just the Thousand Suns that. Sort of
I just can't get with the ones that are armed with 2 ranged weapons. I just can't.
They don't
look great.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff about.
And
how
they're
the
too
different
big. Like
legions
you
have
could
sort
fit
of
a
embraced
Space
it. So
Marine in
the
power
Thousand Suns have
armor
sort of used it
inside
as
that
intended
suit.
to some extent,
Reminds me
kind
of
put all of
Centurions.
their psychic
I still don't know
pilots
where his
inside
legs
them.
are.
The word bearers immediately crammed it full of demons just to see what would happen. But all of the legions, to some extent, have recognised
It's a bit
the
too
lethality
Primarisy for
of
me.
Saturnine technology and find a place for it in their legions.
Okay, what's next?
Perfect. Right. We're still not quite done in this sort of area of the timeline.
Super heavies?
I am super excited to be able to announce today on behalf of the Black Library that there is a new
The
mega
Scouring.
series on the way. This is the Scouring. This is book 1 called Ashes of the Imperium.
Multipass.
And it kicks off a multi-book, multi-author mega series. Set
Another
in
Siege of
the
Terror.
Ashes of the Imperium. It's a
Chris Rate's a good
perfect title.
author,
The
though.
Horus Heresy is ended.
Yeah,
The
I
Emperor
like his work.
is mortally wounded, enshrined upon the Golden Throne. The War Master is dead. The forces of the traitor legions.
It'd be
are in full
nice because
retreat.
we've not had
What happens
any
next? So this series begins essentially
anything on the Scouring
at
apart
that
from
premise.
the
And here we have
the
a very
Beast,
understandable
which was a bit after
confrontation
the Scouring,
between
wasn't it?
A battered and
that the Orc
damaged
stuff?
Rogel Dawn and Rabute Gilliman, who has arrived pristine with reinforcements. And as you can see, they're at loggerheads already. Black Library are super excited for us to be announcing this today because this is the culmination of a lot of work and effort between a really sort of carefully assembled cabal of writers and creatives that have been plotting out a multi-book series, which we're going to see play out over several years. I'm really, really
Yeah, I don't think I've
excited
read
by
much
it.
by Chris
You were
Rate that I
saying,
didn't
earlier
like.
on that there's kind of like 3 core themes, aren't there, that's
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
explored through this.
So in a nutshell, and without spoiling anything for those of you who want to enjoy it, I promise you spoiler-free. There are 3 principal themes. Theme number 1 is what happens with the legions Astartes, right? They essentially caused all of this, or their brothers have. They've ruined the work of the Great Crusade. The Imperium is in tatters. What is the place for the Space Marine Legions?
We'll have to wait
in
and
the
see
wake
because
of
I
this
was not happy
massive
with every change
So
they
the
made to
traitor legions,
the
the
Siege
second
of
these
Terror.
sort of
So
perspectives.
I still haven't
the
read 'em
War
yet.
Master is dead. Their whole purpose for doing this has now failed. The Chaos Gods withdraw some of their power. So suddenly they thought they were onto a good thing, and now they're relatively alone and at sea. How do they survive? How do they regroup? The third group is, in my opinion, maybe the most compelling, which is what of humanity, right? They've just watched these demigods wage war across the Imperium, ruin everything, destroy the Emperor's great works. The Emperor is mortally wounded. How do they respond? How does humanity
Bro,
rally? And how
Horus
do they
Heresy spoilers.
the place of the Space Marine legions that remain?
Absolutely, and I think worth saying as well. This is absolutely you can treat this as a
that model
self-contained
of
series.
Oh, yeah.
that picture
If
of
you want-
Gulliman
if
there
you
looks a
have
lot more
read
like my
all of the
3D
Horus Heresy,
print
from
than the
Horus
official
Rising
model.
all the way through the full novel series, and then gone through the Siege of Terror. First of all,
Seriously?
very well done. There's a lot of books to read, some great stories in there. But if you are new to the Horus Heresy and kind of the setting and the era, you can absolutely just jump in with Ashes of the Imperium and treat the Scouring as a series in its own right.
Yeah, I have to give a little bit of a shout out to Chris Rate as well, who is the author chosen for this first book. He is a true gangster of words. He's written some of the really fantastic Black Library novels. if you've never read a Chris Rate book and you just want to dip your toes in ahead of trying this, I could not recommend enough of Valdor, Birth of the Imperium. It sort of sits outside.
Someone just went, Horus is a heretic?
Experience a little bit.
OMG.
It's like top tier Black Library fiction and might be
Yeah,
a
I
fun
mean,
way to sort of.
It's going to
whet
be
your
another
appetite for more Chris
long
Rate.
book series. Not obviously
As
Horus
we
Heresy, like
approach
50
the
books or
release of
something.
this,
It's
we're
going to
gonna
be a
have
lot.
full-length interview with
we'll have
Chris
to wait and see.
talking about
but-
Ashes of the Imperium and
It's only
all of
gonna
the
be 49
care and
books.
Consideration that's gone into it and the narrative that
It depends which
unfolds.
authors they pick
More
for
on
it,
that,
really.
more on that we'll see
I'm not sure
as we
Graham
come.
McNeil's
very
doing anything
exciting.
anymore.
That
Dembski
was
Bowden will get
awesome.
one.
I
Gav Thorpe will
really
get
am
one.
super excited for it.
Hold up, what's next?
We're not done yet.
We're not even close.
We
We're not even
promised
close.
that we would return to the grim
probably kill
darkness
team, I
of
think.
the Dark Millennium, and we do now with 5 new Space Marine heroes for 5 of the first.
Okay, this is
Founding
the thing that
chapters.
Valrak was talking
Right,
about.
this is Vulcan Heston. So this is a model returning that has previously been in
Shit.
metal and resin and is now in plastic. Vulcan Heston is a famed hero of the
Hate it.
Salamanders chapter, and his particular mission is to scour the galaxy looking for the relics
all right.
left
With a
by
helmet
his
on.
Primarch.
Actually, to be
namesake,
fair, for 40k, that's a
Vulcan.
decent
he
face.
wears some of those relics himself, so he is equipped with an artificer suit of armor. He is carrying a handheld heavy flamer and a blade.
I mean, he is still active. That's good. I thought you buggered off.
Magma fire and is able to.
Well, lose the
through
flames
enemy
off the
warriors.
base, I think.
He's also walking
Couldn't
through
have been
flames,
much.
just in case you weren't sure he was as cool as he can be. He's
Like the
just,
Duran Duran
walking through the
song.
Fire there as well. He is.
I
probably
swear
the
it's
most
another
iconic
reuse of that pose
Salamanders
as well.
character that exists in Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
great
like
to
that.
see him in
It is a
plastic.
stridey
He
pose,
has
like,
a
there's only
couple
so
of
many
head
you can
options.
do, I
You
think.
can have helmeted or unhelmeted. And
Health and safety first.
both of them look very, very cool indeed. He is only one of the 5 new Space Marine
Yeah,
characters.
Lysander's
next up,
looking good.
we
Yeah,
have
Lysander,
a
he
very
looks
iconic
alright.
and well-known hero returning.
It's quite
in a
close
new
to the original,
incarnation.
that.
Darnath
Yeah,
Lysander,
that's alright.
Nice shield.
captain of the first company, I probably should say, of the Imperial Fists chapter. He's been remade in the sort of
Not sure he
nice.
needs a tactical
Terminator
rock.
armor style that we saw for the first time.
Yeah,
in
nice
it's
the,
the same
old
scale
school-
as the ones
Yeah,
in the
Terminator
recent
style
and he
suit.
is a substantial man
Terminator
in that
style?
armor. He has an enormous storm shield. He's carrying that incredible looking
That might be the
Thunderhammer.
best storm shield in Warhammer.
It's
up there,
it's,
isn't
it's
it?
right up
It's up
there,
there.
yeah. I think the Lion might argue with
Yeah.
you, but we're
Yeah,
talking
Lysander looks
top
alright.
3, right?
I imagine Velrak's
Yeah, everything
coming in
you'd
his pants
expect from
right
this
now.
Iconic hero of the Imperial Fists chapter.
Nice to see a helmeted option in there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're taking the.
If you don't want to paint a face, and sometimes you just want to get him on the battlefield nice and fast. you can.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't yellow, I don't know. I might find it easy to paint the flesh, to be honest. He is not the only. There are 5 of them altogether. So next up, we have
Also
Kamal
good,
Var, a
although I'm
new
not sure what he's
character
holding.
For the Iron Hands chapter, this is
What is that?
the captain of the
chainsaw
I have a
covered in.
clan.
Yeah, the equivalent. To
I have a
kind of
power
captain of
stick.
The first company.
Yeah.
Again, a Terminator in the same scale as the recent new Terminator kits. Some really
Yeah,
lovely
he
little
looks cool.
features on here. Really leaning
Okay with
into
that.
the kind of Iron
Yeah,
Hand
he's all
lore.
right for an
He's got
Iron Hand. I
lots
kind of feel like
of
more of
nods
him should
towards
be
his,
bionic, but yeah, he's all right.
technological know-how
it's
and
not
their
bad.
kind of alliance with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah, he's got sort of servo
Lysander's
skulls
the,
attacked by data
best one for me
tethers,
so
sort of
far.
conjuring information. Look at the one on the bottom right-hand corner. He
Yes,
looks
it is the
like he's
Lionel Johnson pose, you're
projecting a
right.
Fortress of Redemption.
Not this
Yeah,
one.
he's got like a little
The,
holograph
Vulcan.
Yeah.
of perhaps a building that they're planning to besiege.
I think my favourite
Games
is
Workshop, you've made a
actually
mistake. Iron Hands aren't allowed new
shaped
stuff.
For a Tetsubo, not a weapon I'm used to seeing, and it just really works on this guy. Sort of straightforward, practical, extremely brutal. Next up, and I think for many people this will be the sort of
This one's cool, guys.
the model which
Pedro?
Well,
fired
it's an
the
improvement
The Raven Guard.
I-
on the
No.
previous style.
No, it's not.
Absolutely love this guy. So
Fucking
That's a mohawk.
hate
new
that.
Chapter Master of the
That's a
Raven Guard. You
mohawk,
might
I'm
be
okay
saying,
with that.
Eddie, they already have a Chapter Master. What happened to Shrike? Shrike
That's
has
hideous.
led the Raven Guard for some
That's
years, but has
channeling
decided actually
Space
his
Wolves,
place
but,
is better
yeah.
in the shadows as the captain of
Not
stealth.
sure what's up with that
and
claw,
he's
though.
left Etheon Shan to lead the Raven
Oh,
Guard as
God.
their
They just
figurehead
can't
and
help
commander, and
themselves,
to
can
make it
they?
Absolutely.
It's got a lot of shit on
phenomenal.
it.
We very recently
Oh,
had
the hoodie
Logan
one looks better.
Grimnar released.
Even though it's got
I
a
think
it's
only
got
the
a
black
square caddy hood.
and this continues the tradition of.
Although
having
they've done
They
that
just,
for a
they
while.
just
Absolutely
can't fucking
phenomenally
help
cool
themselves.
looking
They have to
chapter
over-design
master
Yeah,
everything
redolent
to within an
in
inch
sort
of its
images
life.
the Raven Guard,
I think they do it just to
captain
annoy
you
you on
see
purpose.
there's
Doesn't surprise
those
me.
Sort of tassels that sort of dangle from him with the sort of secret runic script of deliverance. He's got feathers and feathers.
No, it's
Of
horrific.
course.
He's got
It's
3 head
fucking
options.
horrific.
Aethon Shan
I'm kind of okay
is
with it.
a
I might get you one.
really just tremendous.
I
sentry
might be able to
box
see if I can
model,
make
and
something
think the
decent out of
Raven
it.
Guard fans out there are going to be delighted by what he presents. And there's one more.
That is also a very decent face for
Suboden
modern
Khan
40k.
is the first captain of the White Scars chapter. So he leads its first company on this
grav bike?
mighty.
Yeah,
looking,
it's
grav
kind of
bike.
like an
Hey!
outrider
Hey!
with grav bits.
Hold
Gatling cannon
on a
mounted to the
minute.
front.
Samal would like a
He's
fucking word with you. The
just
last working grav bike in the
perfect embodiment
Imperium.
of that White Scars hero huntsman archetype.
Not
Yeah,
not,
it's
not when
very, very
Cole
cool.
turns
There's
up.
all sorts of beautiful Chigorian details on in there. You can see the kind
I
of
don't like the
pattern on
bike.
front
The
of
bike
jet
just
bike
looks-
is very reminiscent of some of their heresy.
Not
era designs
40k
and
in the
their dreadnoughts and things like that.
slightest.
We've got the model with us in a
Well,
second. We'll
personally,
have
I
a
think
look at it,
Lysander's the
but,
best one out of all that.
There's some beautiful detail on the back. He's got kind of Chigorian shields and sheaths and decapitated enemy heads and stuff like that. It's just the most.
Where is
White
Pedro?
Scars looking
Yes,
thing
good
you've
question.
ever
Pedro
seen.
Cantor would have been
That
nice.
fits beautifully in an army if you've got lots of outriders and fast-moving stuff. It's been quite a long wait for the White Scars
Yeah,
to have
absolutely.
a character on a bike,
The
and
characters
it's
have
well worth
traditionally
it.
had to walk, haven't they? So
Guy said that bike is straight out of the old Judge
really
Dredd movie. Dude,
How
you
do
didn't
I
watch
get
the
my hands
original
on
Judge
these?
Dredd
You
movie
say
I
there's
watched,
some-
because it
some
ain't.
questions to answer there. There's a series of combat patrols coming out. Listen
Okay,
carefully
yeah.
when I explain the one.
Does he mean what, the Stallone one?
Saboden Khan
Yeah.
is in the White Scars combat patrol.
Which
You
is
see
quite
it
old
here.
now.
It's 3 outrider bikes.
No, Primaris pick up, don't care.
Accessor assault squad.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Sword
going to get really salty
and
now,
Saboden
guys. I'm
Khan.
going to get proper grognard on
Will
you.
be available separately, not that long
Quick,
after
drink more
the release.
beer.
It's Combat Patrol.
There is
He's
no
the
more
only
beer,
one of
it's
these
gone.
heroes that comes inside a
Oh, now it all
Others,
makes sense. You should have got more.
are available separately, but here are the combat patrols that come out with them. So you have an Imperial Fist combat patrol.
Hey, the
just
Imperial
full
Fist one's
of
half
heavily
decent.
armored Imperial Fist troops. You've got Terminators and a command group, and it just looks wonderful. Next up, Iron
only 3
Hands,
squads, though.
heavy intercessors, heavy weapons.
No, that's horrible.
Everything you might expect
Yeah, it's
from
those
these
shitty
tough,
temporary guns.
durable
Turrets.
warriors of the Iron.
That's the we couldn't
Hands
sell
chapter.
these.
The Raven Guard.
That can also fuck
A
off.
bit more.
Fast and Phobos.
Yeah, fast.
way to
That's
do it.
good. I like that. That was strong. Yeah, they're going to get in amongst.
Well,
the
I didn't
faster,
think we were going to see
imagine
anything
they punch out
amazing
and
for
it'll be
the
tremendous.
40k
But
stuff,
what
if
you
I'm
just
being
want to
completely
carry all
honest
the
with you.
flames all the time?
So,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know.
every
I
model
never,
in this
I never
entire
expect
combat
anything.
patrol
Some dude in
Oh
the
my
chat just went,
God, but they
Either
put the
a mounted or a
ATV
flamethrower
buggy in
in
it.
some way,
No
shape, or
way.
form.
I think
Some guy in the
there's
chat just
some
went,
thought
"Turrets,
into
lol."
maybe, ruin my attempt.
Yeah, some of it laughing my
That
ass
is a
off, the
lot
double
of
turret.
armor and/or melter, and I think you can excuse us.
Clearly, we're not the only ones.
Transfers in those kits as well. Adam, I know
Yeah,
you were a very
no,
big
you
fan of
just-
that when we were
you
looking
just,
through.
that's
hit on
horrific.
my like secret nerd part of Warhammer. I get really excited by transfer.
Well,
sheets.
probably
I
the Imperial
can't do
Fist's got
freehand save
best
my
out of
life,
all
but
that, I
can
reckon.
get the decal on with the best
Yeah,
of them.
people aren't impressed that
Each
they
of
put the
these,
Mario
will
Kart
come
into
with
the
its own,
Salamanders.
transfer sheet. Which
least they put a
means
heavy
that
flamer on
you
it.
can apply all the details of the heraldry and everything. And there's loads of cool extras on those. Case in point,
Yeah,
the
it's
Imperial
quite
Fist one
blatant
has
that some stuff's not
details
selling, and
in
they thought, put it in the
Crimson
combat
Fists.
patrol, it'll be
So
fine.
If you were
Yeah,
a fan
it's all
of
the shit
Crimson
stuff no one wants, though.
successors, then you can fill your boots. We'll show you those ahead of time so you can sort of plan your purchases and your painting.
So what's
experiences,
left? Kill team?
as we get closer to.
I think that's it.
these.
Yeah,
And
Have
that's
a
it?
look at the models.
yeah, I've got some of the miniatures right here. We've got some kind of classic stuff, so you can see the scale of them, and we've also got some of the new miniatures. So if we start off over here with
Oh,
the
there we go.
Raven Guard,
I want
side,
to put that
we brought
Raven
along
Guard character into a
um,
belt sander.
Regular.
Assault Intercessor Sergeant. It's not a small model by any stretch of
I
the
thought you were
imagination.
going to say you were
sort
going
of get a
to.
sense
You're going to
of
say you're going to
how
put it
big
onto a belt
the new
buckle,
Chapter Master
happily
is.
wear it
Yeah,
around.
He's on a big base.
Thrusting at
He's gonna be
people.
Quite an intimidating character. Certainly going to be the largest of your infantry
Check
models.
out my character.
Probably standing not far.
Another
off
thing
height
to
of
notice there,
the
guys, is from
Dreadnought
what I could
at
see,
top
the
his
value
base
of the
there.
combat
It was
patrol seems to have
interesting. You may
dropped a little
attacked
bit.
Rock to sort of raise him up a little, but Darneth Lysander is such a brute that he's not that much shorter than either of the two models you just mentioned.
I think
He's really
Lysander's
very
quite
dominant.
nice,
And then
genuinely.
Saboden Khan,
Yeah.
next to an
Understated for a
Outrider.
captain, but
First
I
of
like
all,
that.
Check out the sort
Looks
of
very good.
similarities between the stylings. The
But
sort
see,
of,
I'm looking at this jet bike, and I'm kind of
the
like,
shape of the bike. Very
is there a
sort of
benefit
reminiscent
to
of
putting an
the
assault
PCC
cannon
body.
that low down in a
Why are
bike?
you spinning
Surely
so
it should be a bit higher up.
Check out
There,
some of
there
the
are
details
so
on the
many.
back.
Why is there a
details
bar
I
on the
really
front of
like
the bike?
shield. There's some sheaths, there's some extra weapons. There's
I would say
as well as
to
having
keep shit from
loads of
going
lovely
in the
detail,
vent
there's also
at the
loads of
front,
space if you want to do
but
some,
it
like,
doesn't
Gregorian
even
front
cover
and
the
stuff
vent
like
at the
that.
front.
I think that's going to be
Oh,
there with the golden demons and things. So that people
maybe
see
it's
it.
just for ramming
It's
it, dudes,
designed
so
to
that
see
they
what
don't
we
go
do
into
with
the
it.
vent. Maybe
There we are.
You couldn't make a
Space Marine,
bike that can't
Surely that's all the
withstand
Space
ramming
Marines
into
we have.
things. I mean,
So you say that, but
Well, they
there's
did
a
put a
little
big
bit more
vent in the
Space
front.
Marine
They're
on
kind
the
of
way.
important things to have when you've got a
This
jet
one's really
engine.
exciting for me because I got got to help a little bit on the team that have brought this to life. I am over the moon to present.
So this is why they cracked down on that guy that was
helmet.
making
Making
them.
helmets for people.
Lieutenant Titus Mark 10 helmet made by Joy Toy.
It's the wrong
If you've
colour,
not
though.
heard of Joy Toy? Where have you been hiding?
Any
Joy
other ones
Toy
apart from
make
Ultramarine,
beautiful
though?
action figures under license.
And it'll be
from
well
Games Workshop.
overpriced.
They do Warhammer 40,000 ones, and they do Warhammer
It's got to be
80,000
about, what,
ones,
200
and they
quid?
do Warhammer the Horus
I
Heresy
mean, the
ones,
Star Wars
and
ones are
now
well
they have
expensive as
made,
well, but people
this
buy them because they've
incredible helmet.
got all
To
the
be fair,
bells
you'll
and
be able to
the
get you'll be able to get a Chinese knockoff within
And,
about
I can
6
talk about some of
months,
his features.
so-
Inside, it's got an
It's
adjustable
Joy Toy
sort of
Chinese
headband, so
anyway.
you can change it to fit your head. What that means is that unless you've got the tiniest of heads, like
The tiniest
a
of heads of the
or
small
grot,
child. Imagine that on a tiny
you should be
kid.
able to make it fit. I
It'd be like a
have
bobblehead.
the most preposterous, like, potato head
I
imaginable.
think I'm going to say what everyone is
Stop
thinking.
talking and
Just
put it on.
Adam.
Yeah,
Just
I
see what it
will.
looks like.
But before I do, so this is the prototype that we've been sort of working with them on.
Oh,
And
has it
before
got
I do,
like
I'm
a-
going to flip a switch because
Oh,
we're
please not
under very
glowing
bright
eyes.
studio lights. But inside, can you see the illuminated?
No.
A little bit. There's some really great pictures that you'll be able to see later. But
You look like
Yeah,
a dude in a
feel
helmet.
like a
You look like a
Space
dude in a
Marine
helmet.
already.
You
give me a
I
heresy
feel like
one and we're
I'm standing
talking.
next to a
Or
Space
Mark
Marine.
7.
Incredible.
I mean, it's never felt so good to feel like Lieutenant
Oh, goes
Titus.
with Stan.
So the lenses inside illuminate. You can buy it with this lovely display stand as well. This is the Mark 10 helmet stand. It looks like something straight
Looks like a
out
boot
of
cleaner.
a battle barge or a Fortress Monastery cell where a Space Marine might
Yeah,
put
that's
his warrior,
why,
when he's finished on campaign.
That's
It's
why
your
they went
choice whether
after
you
the
want
guy
to
that was
get the
making
helmet
them.
separately or with that, but I've had this in my office for quite a while and it looks really cool. When can you get your hands on it, I guess is the question.
When can I get my hands on it, Adam?
I'm glad you asked. The answer
Someone
is
just went, when can I get a
when
Mark
this
6 helmet?
preview show is done, the pre-orders begin. So you will be able to go to warhammermerch.com and
What do we
pre-order.
reckon,
So,
guys? 150?
yeah, I'm just over the
Probably.
moon to see this in the flesh, in real world. Very, very exciting.
Kill Team.
We're still not done with Warhammer 40,000. We need to go to
The
Kill
Kill
Team
Team.
to the Kill Team.
Necrons.
Okay. And Deathwatch.
As Valrak said.
I rather
This will
like
be another
that.
big box, won't it?
Yeah, definitely, with those walls in it.
So, an amazing new box for Kill Team, a new expansion, 2 brand new Kill
People are like
Team,
ridiculous,
a
no
new
Blood
Kill
Bowl. I'm like,
Zone,
did you
some
not see the
incredible
fucking
miniatures.
preview for this? It
Let's
wasn't
take a
there.
look. This is Kill Team Tomb World, and you get absolutely loads in this box.
It's just bursting with
That
cool
is-
stuff, right?
That'd be a pricey
might
box.
be
Nice.
the best Kill Team box we've released. It's
bold
way up
claim,
there,
and
isn't
I
it?
struggle
It's
to
up there.
argue.
It's
Do you remember
up
that Prior
there.
Nexus one they did?
There's some
It's
beautiful
like
stuff
that,
in
but
here.
good.
I mean, like, if we talk about the battlefield first, you've got some absolutely amazing Necron scenery, in a little bit like the Into the Dark scenery we saw
Yeah, absolutely.
a little while back, and certainly allows you to play games
Kind of
in that
always
same
reminds
sort
me
of
of a,
style.
Borg
Doesn't replace it
Cube.
necessarily, but allows you to play
Yeah,
that kind of
kinda.
close confines, up close battles. Really thematic. You've got the kind of undead Necron crypts as the warriors wake from their eons long slumber.
Show
but
me the
the kill
Necrons.
teams
I wanna
themselves
see
are
how
probably
interesting
where the,
things
the
you've
real
done.
excitement is.
Hopefully
So,
they are
No.
in
we
armour.
start off with the
Not them.
Deathwatch Kill Team. This is the return of the
Okay, though.
original Kill Team.
No,
the name
it's
Kill Team itself
Primaris
comes from the
Phobos.
concept of Deathwatch.
It's always
And
gonna be, isn't it?
They have come out with
no,
an
there's
amazing
only one
new
Phobos.
range of miniatures.
One
There
of
are 10
them's
these
in,
guys the box.
Gravis.
You can build them in a whole range.
Oh, no,
of
it's
different
heavy-
ways,
heavy
and there are some
intercessor
lovely
armour, isn't it?
features. Adam, have you got
Which
any
I think is
favourites
Gravis.
from
I mean,
this?
So,
for me,
yeah.
I'm all about the big firepower, right? So,
Not
sort of
sure,
bottom right,
but
you have
is
a
that a
Flesh
Flesh Terror?
frag
The bottom
cannon,
one with the heavy bolter?
because that's the best way to greet the Xenos, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
Cole's
I call
gonna-
them out as a Flesh
oh,
Terror,
he's
so
gonna
happens
not be
over
happy.
the years. One of the things
Flesh
that's
Terrors are his
striking
dudes.
about this set
The
is that
one-
there's
Oh, but that-
the one with
loads
the,
of
the
different
Creepy
shield
face,
might be a
devices
Red
that
Yeah,
are
but
Scorpion.
some quite obscure chapters as well.
Yeah, I mean, so Flesh Terrors are perhaps not
Maybe.
obscure, but they're not necessarily what you might expect. For example, top center. That's
Should he
member
not
of
have
the
a
Wolf
grey
Spears,
pauldron
which
if
is one
that's
of
the
few
case?
successors to the Space Wolf chapter. You've got an Ultramarine on the right hand
Dark
side.
grey?
The crossed swords on the one bottom left, I think, is probably making him a guardian of the
I
Covenant.
think you might
But,
be right.
Um,
You might be right.
and as
Yeah,
a
they
Dark
look alright.
Angels
Nothing
collector,
to
that's quite
write
exciting.
home
we had a
about,
fun
but
game
they're all
earlier
right.
on where we tried to guess all the different chapters.
Yeah.
A red
Oh.
scorpion in there as well that you can't quite make
Ha!
out.
Told you.
There's
Red
5
Scorpion.
more, that you can see here. So if you see any
Got
that
Raptor
are
there.
a chapter that you're interested in, shout them out.
Imperial
in the
Fist,
chat. This is the
obviously.
top middle guy's going to get some attention because there's
Medusa
a lot of fans for those guys.
Marine.
Loads of options, loads of different specializations.
Other two I
that
can't tell you,
Kill
I can't
Team
see
can be
enough.
built with.
Got a salamander with a really weird heavy combi flamer.
And when you play Kill Team, the
Yeah,
way
they
that
look
this,
Not
well,
bad.
any Kill Team works is that
That'll be
you
a
have
very,
a
very
roster of
popular-
different warriors, and then you can
popular
choose
kit,
the
I
ones you
think.
want before your game starts. You get 10 models in this box to make your Kill Team. You've got loads of different
I
options.
like that space wolf. He
and
looks
then
like the
choose
I would
looks like the
think
Robert
given-
Redford
Kill Team in-game
nodding
will be
gif.
5 of those
Given the
warriors. You can
amount
pick
of
any
stuff,
5 you want.
different types of things in it, I think it's going to be a
Check it out
new
with
kit.
the underslung grenade launcher and all of the grenades just in the harness.
It's great to see a mix of
They look
Gravis
alright.
and Phobos and
Yeah,
Tacticus as
absolutely.
well.
They look
So
very
that's a
boringly
Gravis,
painted, but they look
effectively
alright,
a heavy
yeah.
intercessor archetype,
Death Watch, innit?
he's even more upgunned.
It's just the way
than you
GW
might
paints their
expect
black.
a normal heavy intercessor to be, which have already got quite big guns. In game terms,
Let's
the
say it's
Death
better
Watch
than
have
mine.
got all sorts of
There's loads of
specialisms
people in the
regards to killing
comments
kit,
talking,
but one of
asking
their
for stuff that
things
wasn't on
is
the poster.
effectively in
It's
each
so
turn
weird.
I know.
you can choose
A
one
lot of people are just think.
special piece of ammunition, and you can basically pick a special rule for that gun to have. So it can be blast or precision or extra AP or something like that. So that a kind of quite long-standing concept of them having the ammunition to do exactly the job you need them to do makes its way into Kill Team, as well as them just being
Yeah, not bad.
pretty
So
good
put
all-round
Necrons.
Space Marines, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not the only thing in the kit, although you might excuse our enthusiasm for thinking so. There's also the Canoptic Circle.
Okay, I
These
kinda like
are
the head
Necron
dude.
guardians of this tomb complex. Essentially, their job
Not
has been
fussed on
to
anything
oversee the
else.
reanimation protocols of all of the Necrons that you see in these alcoves. We'll show you some more of the terrain in a bit.
But I do kind of like
and
that head,
these are the
whoever that is.
Not sure about that
sentinels
peculiar
that are ready to
chin.
now sort of attack the
It's just the
enclave.
Egyptian
And they were
style
good
thing
about
they
their
do,
business
isn't it?
waking up all the Necrons, and all of a sudden
Yeah,
it's
I
very
think they're
rude
taking
Kill
Anks
Team
a
with
bit
Death
too
Watch first
literally.
into
I'm
their
going
crypt
to cut
and decided
at
to
least
start
half
wrecking
of
up
that
the
off
place.
and
So
put it
they've
in the
had
bin.
to, mobilize against them. It is a very powerful Kill Team. This is the Canoptek Circle. It is led by a Geomancer, which is a type of
Geomancer,
tech. That's
okay.
the model you can see there. She is the leader of the warband, and she definitely
She
kind
is,
of
of
the
course.
core of the force, right?
With a
So
chin like that,
She's big and powerful.
she's
right?
big and powerful. Yeah, she alone can take on a Space Marine, but the other
Jimmy
troops
at
in
Hill.
her force
why the long face?
need her to kind of be at the centre to kind of coordinate the efforts. You've got a few different other models in the mix there as well. As the Geomancer, you have remind me of the names of these.
The larger thing on the left-hand side with
Yeah,
the
I like
the Tomb
crawlers
Crawler.
on the top.
the old tomb
the
spiders are much
crawler,
better.
then
Speaking of somebody who
sort of
has
the right hand, and there's
50
another one
tarantulas
sort of,
sitting to
central
the
the
2
right-hand
feet to the
side,
right
and
of me.
The smaller things.
That's a different unit, though, isn't
they
it? This one's
are
just like a
your,
little sentinel thing,
your
whereas Tomb
reanimators
Spiders
or
are
your
more
warriors.
repair and
So normally, day to day, they'd just be pooling around making sure.
But
everything's
again,
safe
I
and
just
well,
don't know if we
reanimating
needed all
some
these
Necrons,
new
but,
units to an
when,
army that's
the
already
Death Watch
so
come knocking,
bloody bloated, and they're going to get
they
40k
into
rules.
action.
Yeah, the
I don't
crawlers
know.
have got some
Well, yeah, but who
particularly
actually puts
formidable
Kill Team
weaponry,
stuff
right?
in
So,
40k,
they're up against
really?
The Death Watch Kill Team, so the guns on those can take out a Space Marine if they get
Yeah,
a
they're
good,
all right.
solid round of
I don't
firepower. They are
mind
one
the
of
sentinel
you
thingies.
basically, you've got your kind of central
The only thing I
character,
like
which
is
does
the
all
thing in the
kind of
middle, the
utility stuff.
Geomancer.
Then you've got
That's
two
pretty
really
cool, but
good
that's
solid
it.
gun platforms, and then you've got the rest of the force, which whizzes around and does the objective taking
That's
stuff.
what, one
It's a really
immortal as well?
flexible little Kill Team.
Yeah, it looks like a
Also
random
worth
immortal
pointing out
in
that
there.
the box has a bunch of Necron warriors.
Yep.
Why does it have a bunch of Necron warriors, you might ask? They're not
Oh,
in
they
the
included
Kill Team.
Necron
Well,
Warriors as well, so
one
that
of
you've
the
got
other
the rules
things
for
inside
Hang on.
this
playing
box
against
is
them.
rules for playing basically co-op missions where you both play as Death Watch and you're up against hordes.
Yeah, so they've
undying
included like a
hordes
unit of
Necron
warriors as well.
just
They
to
did that with
Great,
the
it's super
Typhon one.
fun.
There's a
Yeah.
unit of Gaunts in
And,
there for when you want to
chance
play
do
against
this
have
a
two
Death
players
Watch
and
Kill
play
Team,
against
sort of
like the
stalking
opponent.
around the Necron,
Okay, so that's
awakening
kind of cool
Necron
because, you know,
complexes.
like co-op makes me a bit more
almost
interested because
to
then
the-
And
me
just
and
a
the-
great other way
me
of
and the
playing
missus
it.
can play it, you
Totally
know?
jump on it. Have
Yeah.
a look around this board and you can see.
But they
some
said
of
it's
those
Death Watch
alcoves,
versus
those
Necrons as
reanimating
AI.
Necrons and stuff.
And there's like weird
It's-
portals
yeah,
and
it's
glyphs
just
and all sorts of stuff.
replete
Yeah.
with cool imagery. There's fallen masonry. You can imagine they've been asleep for so long that seismic events, whatever, of course, needs to fall down.
140
Plus
quid for your
Sandal,
helmet.
the wolf spear and everything with his hammer.
Yeah.
This is going to be just peak Warhammer adventures in a tomb complex.
Instead of having light up lenses, they should have put
And
in
of
like
course,
a
both of
voice
these,
synthesizer or something. That'd be
filters
much
will
better.
usable in Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
There'll be a way to use your Death Watch in that game as well, and your new Necrons. And of course, there is a new book, a new dossier that comes with this, which has
Someone
all
else
the
just said, I
rules
hope they
you
don't
need
do
to
more
play these in your
Primarchs.
game.
They belong in
Yeah, let's have a look at
30k.
some of them in the
We've
flesh.
had enough of this
Oh,
WWE
boxing.
slop.
Let's have a look at some of these in the flesh. In particular, it'd be good to get the Geomancer in because that gives a
Let's
sense
have a
of the
look at
scale.
this game.
Oh, it's a
So,
frag
my
cannon, isn't it?
favourite
I
would
should have
be
remembered
frag
that from the
cannon,
old
but when you put
Death
the
Watch box.
Geomancer in
Yeah.
Board game.
I've still got the original one from Overwatch
So
knocking
there's
around
some,
somewhere.
narrative.
That's the one that I
around
meant.
The events here, which is quite cool. We were having a read.
I sold my
And
Death Watch
Geomancer
army, but
was, in fact, a lady.
I did have 2 copies of it. I think I
if
actually
you
got one
haven't
out of
already tweet,
Wayland
yeah,
because
Raptor is good.
like something could be wrong,
so you
GW
get
just
a
send
nice
us a
mix
new
of
one. It'd be like,
scale,
don't worry about sending the old one back. It'd be
from,
like, aha,
obviously,
Yeah,
interesting.
the
It's just
Geomancer
more
and
ag in it.
the
I do like that
animators on
Necron
the
lady,
sides.
but it
Loads
does
of
look
stuff to
very
focus on.
snappy.
This is going to be
It does look very snappy, but I love the fact that it's got the kind of centipede thing going on, because you know how you love
Yeah.
those giant tropical centipedes.
Yeah.
I don't mind when they're plastic.
Wouldn't
Not
be
your
exactly
not your
to say the most
fucking old one you had as a
requested
pet.
Kill
That's a
Team.
ridiculous
The
thing.
concept of Kill Team was sort of
Dale memory
re-emerged
means I can
into-
technically play
Yeah,
co-solo as I
absolutely.
have no friends.
Right. I think we've done it.
It's fine.
done it.
We'll be your friends.
We're around
done?
the 90-minute mark. I
Looks
did say
like
it'll
it.
be a long one. But we've shown you all of our Warhammer previews.
There'll be a
It was a-
teaser.
To question
He was about to wrap it up, and he was like, "Questions, though."
Simon, there's probably a question or three, right?
There's quite a few. Yeah. Do you want?
I wonder if I do one
rapid
last
fire
little
ones?
teaser or
There you
something
go.
made for
Okay,
the
let's see what we can do.
Drakari or
12.
whatever the end
Okay, let's go.
campaign's going to
So
be.
start off with Old World. Are the new Tomb King minis resin or plastic?
They are plastic.
Multi-part plastic kits. Definitely said it.
Let's go with
be a
the
sensible
Kill Team
question.
Tomb World. Is the new Necron terrain similar in dimension to the Gallowdark terrain?
It is similar. I don't think it's exactly the same.
Yeah, Gallo Dark would be a good reference point.
So we've got Warhammer Underworlds. Will the new warbands or any of the re-released Grand Alliance warbands be receiving rules to use them in Warhammer Age of Sigmar?
I believe you can use all of them in Age of Sigmar, can't you? I don't want to. Certainly.
Well,
I'm not going to commit. There you go. Show my face as a face of non-committal.
One thing that is worth saying is that quite a lot of the new battle tomes have a place for the Warhammer Underworlds warbands as generic archetypes of that thing. So the Gloomspite kits, for example, you've got a place.
I might
for
ask
the-
him if they'll
the wolves.
release
I think
the
it's a
new
more
Votan
comprehensive
Codex and then
answer.
That's
immediately
probably the
nerf
way-
it a week
the place that
later.
you'll find
Do
them
it!
afterwards.
Yeah, that's fair. The Hellsmiths.
Well, it's not 9th edition when things were slightly more complicated and had some depth, so I don't think they'll fuck this one up.
The Astartes
Too
ones
simple.
we've just seen.
Yeah, I'm with
Does,
you, Chris. I
Suban
think.
and Khan
I think I
have-
like Kill Team a bit more
It
than I
does have a
thought I
helmeted
would.
option.
I love the idea of being
Although
co-op.
I think
Safety first.
any
So
adherence
that's
to health
quite
and
cool.
safety would be.
We need to try that out at
an
some point,
abomination when you're
'cause I've got all the
riding
rules here.
in
I've got some of the
in
big
like
boxes,
might
isn't
be
it?
riding
Yeah, sure.
in
You're meant to be coming up here at some point
at some
anyway.
point,
No,
you're probably
at
allowed.
some point,
It's
yeah.
just-
Yeah.
Okay,
They've got
cool.
reinforced
There you go.
skulls. I'm sure they'll be fine. So where can we expect to see the lore and rules for the shiny new characters?
That is a great question.
good question.
So the rules will be available online.
So some of the rules, if the character is being re-released or
I tell you though, I bet
Yeah,
Simon's
so
glad he
it's
cut his
really
hair in
nice
this
to
stupid
have
weather.
Vulcan
Vulcan and
already.
Lysander are already there. The other rules will be.
I almost got tempted.
And I'm
Almost.
really glad you asked about the lore because
Yeah,
I know
hang on,
that,
hang on.
Phil Kelly from the Warhammer 40,000 lore team came and had a chat with me, and they've written full background for each of these characters and narrative stories, which we'll be hosting on Warhammer Community in the week leading up to their release when that happens. I'm super excited because I don't know anything about Aethon Shan and I want to learn his story. So
okay.
yes, there we go.
Awesome. So we've got two more quick ones if we can. So the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness.
Oh,
Are
heresy
some of
question.
The wargate options that are currently no longer available to certain units ever going to be revisited?
Good
So
lord.
that's a good question. So we do know that there will be more things released in plastic across the course of this edition. With some of those plastic kits, you may see war gear options returning that have previously been available. You might also see some war gear options that have never existed before added to those units. So hopefully that answers some of the question.
Yeah, Grant. One last one was on the scouring. How many books can we see?
At least one.
How many
We've got
books
the
can
number
we
one
see
on
in the
side.
Scouring series?
I don't want to
At
steal
least
the
one.
thunder of any future sort of news. and
That's the sort of
background
answer I'd
other than
give.
To announce it today, but what they have told us, and it was one of the best conversations of my professional life ever, to sit down with the editing team from Black Library as they sort of poured the Scouring lore into my open.
I mean, how many
brain,
Age of Terror
was,
ones were there? 10?
This is a multi-book.
About 10?
Really?
multi-author series,
Really?
and
Oh,
so
I don't know.
It's quite a few, because the end and the death was 3 books.
Grant.
It was. That counts as one.
Well, there's bazillions more questions that I couldn't possibly get to. They're scrolling past so quick. It's all I could do to find the ones I got. But yeah, thanks.
That's great. What remains, I guess, at this point in the juncture is, first of all, to thank all of you for tuning in and spending 90 minutes of brilliant Warhammer fun with us. I've really enjoyed myself.
I had a great time. I always have a great time.
Awesome. There's some general housekeeping to do. If you've missed anything in this and you want to know
It'll all be in the,
more, go to warhammercommunity.com. Read the articles.
What did you think, guys?
There's
There's
pictures. There's
some
more
nice stuff, but
information
I was
that,
really
you
looking
know,
forward to the
we can
Cursed Dwarfs,
tell
and I was
you,
massively let down.
And you can watch the videos back as well.
Why are people
If you are looking
asking for
more
pirates
Warhammer
and the
excitement
Vampire
right now in
Coast?
your life,
What-
we're gonna
what-
throw
what
back
would they
to,
get the idea that they've been
Tacoma,
doing those?
Where there's Warhammer 40,000
people are
tournament
strange.
taking place, I believe, right now is what we're going
That's
back to.
a word.
You
Yeah,
can
I hate
around here,
John
especially on the Twitch
Grammaticus.
channel, I believe that is true.
Surprisingly diplomatic for you.
What else is there to say?
You've impressed
the
me.
helmet. Go and find it on warhammermerch.com. I done.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, Simon, for asking questions. Thanks to the crew here who've made it all work. Eddie, it's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We
Cheerio,
can't wait to
Games
see you again
Workshop
next time.
people. Thank you
Take
for
care.
your time.
And that's it.
That's
No teaser at the end.
Nope.
Okay. So, I mean, I definitely felt they dwelt too long on the bloody Chaos Dwarfs. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But the Heresy, you know, the Assault Squad was nice. The Breachers and Destroyers, I would expect to both see for Zone Mortalis, which obviously they didn't mention, but it's in the digital downloads. I would have liked to have seen more stuff to get massively hyped over. I thought the Space Marine stuff was very underwhelming. I hate the Raven Guard character with a fury brighter than 1,000 suns.
I'm really tempted to get one, and I will put it through electrolysis and plate it. I'll make it nice and silver for you. You can use it as a belt buckle or like a trophy. Something like that.
Or I'll just put it on the end of a stick and use it as a hammer.
Grumpy trophy.
Yeah, it's pretty damn hideous. I'd be tempted to see if I could make something good out of it, but oh god. I thought Lysander was nice. I thought the Imperial Fists Combat Patrol was probably the best one there, but they do look like they've lost value from what I could see. That was just one box of Interceptors, one box of Terminators, and one Command Squad, which for 95 quid ain't a lot. Horus Heresy stuff was nice. The Legions Imperialis, it's nice to see they're getting supported with a load of new stuff.
That was great. Yeah.
That was nice to see. The new Votan just aren't for me, but I'm glad that they got a range
cool as
bump so that people who like that, like reprobates like Matthew, can get some more of those. Yeah, Pedro Cantor was a really weird skip. That really weird skip. I don't know why they didn't put him in. Much rather have seen him in the stupid Raven Guard or the Iron Hands character.
They might be saving him for a box or something.
Yeah, maybe. We never know, do we? But yeah, I was like, what the hell is my mouse doing? That's not me. Weird. Stop moving. What the hell? Computer's possessed.
It's not your drawing tablet again, is it?
No, it's not. God, that was ridiculous. Yeah, I think it was all right. I think if the Chaos Dwarfs had been Old World and they'd looked really nice, then I would have been like, yeah, that's really cool. But not a fan of those Chaos Dwarfs at all. They're just, maybe I'll change my mind after seeing more pictures and stuff, but I was very underwhelmed by the Chaos Dwarfs. But the new Old World stuff looked quite nice, I thought. And it looks like an interesting kill team box. Just depends how much they want for it. I think what are the big ones? Normally about 130 quid, 140 quid?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, the smaller ones are about 90 or 80.
Yeah, they tend to sell out really, really quickly as well. So I might be able to get one of those. But, from a discount like Wayland or Element or something, you'll get down to 110, 100 whatever quid. So depends how much you like that. But I'm not adverse to having some more Death Watch models. And it's the idea of the co-op game that kind of sells me on that one a little bit. But I'm not massive on the Necrons apart from that Geomancer, which is quite nice. And will obviously, that'll all be available separately. I need to get those Imperial agents at some point. They were quite nice. Get those because they're available separately now. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys thought, but I hope you've enjoyed, watching it with us. It's all over now. Till the next time that GW hype up a reveal and get us all excited and leave us slightly underwhelmed. I'll be honest, I would have liked to have seen some more models for the Heresy. I would like to see maybe some characters that are coming out or something like that. Something to just reassure us a little bit that it's not going to be all very generic stuff for the Heresy, because it seems like it's going to be all very generic stuff. Very cookie cutter and not so much flavour. But at the same time, if they try and put flavour on it like that Raven Guard model, I will kick it from here and it will land at Warhammer World because I'm quite close.
Yes. To quote the song, yes, you can.
But yeah, hopefully you've had fun, guys. We're going to disappear because it's obviously been a while. As I said, Matt is swanning off to Norway, Splitter. So no Chebs this Monday. but we'll be back beforehand. And I've got a couple of videos in the works, including one which is probably going to be controversial again. Nothing to do with female Space Marines, but it's what I would do if I was running Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer in general. So
is that like the Brian Botano song from the South Park film?
Well, with the chicken wings.
Maybe. What would Brian Botano do?
Oh, right, yeah.
If he was here today.
Well, yeah, I've just got some ideas. Let's just put it that way. And there was a video that I think it was Northern Exile did. And I was like, yeah, I really must get around to doing that because I've got loads of ideas of things that I would do that I think would make Warhammer better. They wouldn't necessarily be things that GW would do because they might not maximise profits, but I think they would make the game and the system and everything better for hobbyists, which, you know, although they're a business and they need to make money, you know, they should be looking out for their customers. So, yeah, we're going to end it now, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.
Cheerio. And thanks.